Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business. From the
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur? Or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dreams by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sidelines and watch our students in high school be losers, miss out on their dreams from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. Yes, that's his given name. No, don't look into it. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hopton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, turtle, cat, turtle, frog, hamster, fish,
Goldie?
dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors on every lane, drive, and even a few cul-de-sacs brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies. Bunnies.
You guys are so cute.
Bunnies.
You are so cute.
Bunnies.
You're so cute.
Bunnies everywhere. A lifelong lover of Laporte, Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms.
Hi, how you doing? How is she? Did you meet Jackie? Jackie, Barbara, Jackie? This is Betsy.
The only problem? There were more appointments than he could manage.
Yes, I'm gonna get to you. Give me a second. We're gonna get you in real soon. Don't worry, all right? And then...
That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers spending potential that's built for his changing business needs. He decided to hire a new assistant, Julio, who's actually more of a bird guy. But that's just between us. And with spending power built for business purchases, he used his card to furnish a new exam room with extra tail space. Together, Dr. Petsworth, Julio, and American Express Business made sure all the pets of Hompton got the love and care they deserved.
All right, Julio, man, that was great, man.
And everyone was happy, especially these guys. Get the card built for business by American Express.
La connexion. La connexion.
In a world obsessed with the cult of celebrity, I challenge you not to aspire to anyone else's greatness, but instead strive to reveal and ignite the greatness within you.
Are you serious? I totally think that that's it. Hey. No! Hey! To me, sexy is a man that knows who he is and what he wants. He's comfortable. You look at him, you see him, he's just comfortable being himself. And you're like, baby, be you. Be you, baby.
Just be you. I like it. Introducing the BU collection, exclusively available at K&G Fashion Superstore.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. Yes, that's his given name. No, don't look into it. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hompton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, turtle, cat, turtle, frog, hamster, fish,
Goldie?
dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors on every lane, drive, and even a few cul-de-sacs brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies. Bunnies.
You guys are so cute.
Bunnies.
You are so cute.
Bunnies.
You're so cute.
Bunnies everywhere. A lifelong lover of Laporte, Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms.
Hi, how you doing? How is she? Did you meet Jackie? Jackie, Barbara, Jackie? This is Betsy.
The only problem? There were more appointments than he could manage.
Yes, I'm gonna get to you. Give me a second. We're gonna get you in real soon. Don't worry, all right? And then...
That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers spending potential that's built for his changing business needs.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso. A new concept in social media, Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Trusso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Trusso, you're face to face. Second, on Trusso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Trusso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Trusso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Trusso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Trusso is both social and safe. We refer to Trusso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Trusso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Trusso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Trusso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Trusso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
Dr.
Well, folks, good evening. I hope you guys had a great time so far today. I'm Pamela Turner. I'm going to be your moderator this evening. And I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about the network before we get started with our guests. We are excited to have our guests tonight. So this is for business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, as well as corporations. They're welcome to the Black Business Network. And so tonight we're going to be talking to the Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from all over North Carolina, as far as London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. So I'm so excited. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. We're all about business. I am a Black business. So our first speaker tonight is Melissa Muhammad, Esquire. Melissa is an international tax attorney who specializes in helping international businesses operate worldwide. For over 20 years, she has traveled to numerous countries negotiating billion-dollar transactions, okay? And she has trained tax officials in over 153 nations. Now she helps Black-owned businesses export globally and access government and resources to turn concepts into contracts. I like that, turning concepts into contracts. So we have some questions tonight that we want to ask Melissa. Melissa, I'm going to start with our first question tonight. What was your aha moment that prompted you into launching the Black and Gold Business Network?
So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Pamela. The Black and Global Business Network actually came following George Floyd. And I, being an international tax attorney, asked myself why I'd never seen Black-owned businesses come to the government to help them to sell their products and services globally. I was just looking at where I had spent the last 2 decades of my professional life and how realizing that I had buried my talent outside of my community. And in looking at in 23 years, I had never seen or served a Black-owned business. People ask, what is an international tax attorney? One of the things I love about this business is you can travel around the world, but at the end of the day, you got to pay your taxes. So I love that part of the business. I've helped the largest multinationals in the world to expand globally, and they come to the government for assistance. And so in trying to answer that question of why I had never seen a Black-owned business come, I decided it was because, Melissa, you hadn't gotten the word out, because you've been sitting in your good government job, living as a diplomat around the world. I've worked in over 50 countries and, taxes everywhere. Like you said, I've trained tax officials in 153 countries. And most people don't realize that as you sell your products and services globally, you have to pay tax wherever you're doing business. And there's a strategy to that. And so I just decided, Pamela, I was done burying my talent outside of my community. I was 1,000% disconnected from the Black business community. And all of my time, all of my energy, all of my talent and effort was spent in doing billions and billions of dollars around the world, none of which were coming back to me or my community. So I read a book called Raising Black Millionaires by Thea Muhammad. And she said she went to this networking conference. So I said, okay, she said she accomplished goals she had never reached. So I went to the networking conference and I didn't know what it was going to give me, but I met some people, a marketing company that was fantastic, the Black CEO, and they took what I was in my mind, because I didn't know how to translate my talent into a way to serve my community. I'm a hyper technician. I tell people all the time, I can't do my own domestic tax return, but if you want to expand around the world, I am your girl for that. So they took what I wanted to do, took me through a process, and they created the Black and Global Business Network. And I'm forever grateful to them because they've really helped us grow in a very short period of time. So that was my aha moment.
Wow, that is awesome. I mean, I like the fact that you have a passion to help Black business owners, especially with their taxes, because like you said, we can't dodge taxes. So, who is the Black and Gold Business Network ideal client and why?
Well, we're looking for businesses that want to sell globally. If you have products, if you have services, and we say an A-level business because what we're doing has literally never been done before. You don't have to go to the government in order to sell your products and resources and your services, but you pay your tax dollars. And the U.S. government has officials sitting in 170 countries around the world on the ground, and their full-time job is to go out and get you business. And then you have a team in over 100 cities in the US, and their full-time job is to go out and get you business in other countries. And I'm going to share some things with you. I tell people it's going to blow your mind that, that the government does. But for me, the ideal client is somebody that has a pioneering spirit, somebody that wants to try something that's never been done before. Like, we're taking a delegation of companies to Suriname in February to go and get contracts in the telecommunication industry. And we're doing it through the government. The Department of Commerce is, for the first time in history, they're going to certify a trade mission by a Black company. So we're looking for pioneering spirits, people who are not looking for easy. Because if you're looking for easy, this is not the right place. But if you're looking for lucrative, this is most definitely the right place. And clients who have been in business at least a year with domestic sales and domestic performance. And we tell people all the time, if you can sell in the US, you can sell anywhere in the world. The US is only 5% of the market globally.
Yes.
And 95% of the market is outside of the US. And so why would you sit here where you're fighting to be tolerated? There's an entire world out there looking to celebrate your skills and talents. So anyone who is looking for that opportunity, it's a 12 to 36 month process. We tell people, but relationships are very important, particularly in international business. So we're looking for businesses that are looking to build legacy, right? We don't take on a lot of clients for our high-end services because, there's a lot of work that's involved. But legacy is important to us, and we're looking for businesses that want to transfer their business to people much younger than them, because once we start these relationships, we look to create them for generations to come.
Fantastic. I simply love that. And so I'm so happy that you're here today. And for some of our guests that are just coming and may not know who you are, I just want to trickle back a little bit and let our audience know who you are. The Black and Gold Business Network, BGBN, it was founded in 2020 by Melissa Muhammad, Esquire, our wonderful guest. And Mrs. Muhammad was recently appointed to EXIM Bank Small Business Advisory Council for International Export. She is a subject matter expert on international tax law and exporting. The thing that I really love that I found, I went to your website and I checked you out. And at the title of your website, under it, you share that globalizing our connections, keeping us in the Black, and we will see you around the globe. I thought that was amazing because you just talked about Suriname. Now, some people may not know where Suriname is. Can you tell them where Suriname is?
Well, it's in South America. First of all, I didn't know. And what's happening for us is we have grown so fast, and we connected with the telecommunications group called Canto, and they are in charge of all telecommunications, Wi-Fi, 5G, internet, mobile, everything for the entire Caribbean. They are having their meeting in February 2023. And so when we met with them, they said, Melissa, we have to connect with the Black and Global Business Network because we would love to do business with Black American businesses. We see the Chinese, the Russians, the Canadians, the white people from the UK and America. Where are the Black American businesses? And so they ask about, they said that they import everything, and they purchase 80% of their products and services from the US, and not one single solitary company is Black. Not one.
Exactly.
And so we agreed to partner with them to take a delegation of companies to their next meeting to meet with their operators to sell our products and services.
So let me ask you this, because there are a lot of companies that do business and international trade. What sets the Black and Gold Business Network apart from the federal and government international trade programs that are offered to U.S. business owners?
You know what's really sad is that unfortunately most of us don't know that those resources are there.
Right.
And that's the number one thing that we do. We raise awareness to say, hey, the government will go and get you 5 contracts in other countries. It'll cost you a whopping $950 US. And there's grant money available to give you back 75% of that. So we actually, our business model is to access government resources. And unfortunately, when businesses go to these resources, they don't, they get pushed away. They go through the government shuffle. They get sent here and sent there. And unfortunately, it's very rare that our businesses get the level of support that they need.
That's
so
correct.
we are there to walk them through every step of the way and to advocate on their behalf. So there's a huge initiative, like in all aspects of the Biden administration now, for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the Department of Commerce has created a special unit for that. But you know, when you look at their training list of who is speaking, who's performing, you see Asian, you see Hispanic, and LGBTQ and women. But you know who you don't see? Black people.
Black people, women of color. And you know what's so profound is I've lived in different areas, primarily in Asia, and that's spot on. We're not seeing us around the world, and we are some of the most dynamic people when it comes to spending money per capita, right here in the USA as well as abroad, because we're doing more traveling now, and we're buying things online, dealing business in that arena. So I want to ask you this. See, I understand that the Black and Gold Business Network have 2 promotions for your new clients through December. So can you share a bit about these 2 amazing programs with us?
So yes, the first one we have is our VIP program. And our VIP program is where we literally take companies on what we call a government ecosystem tour. And we teach you, we help you to help yourself. It's a VIP membership. There's a live coaching that's once a month. We give you a set of questions and information and teach you how to identify all of the resources, 5 in particular, that can help you go global and help you get the grant money in order to go global and actually put your export plan together. And this membership is typically $27, and it's typically $324 for the year, but we're having a special there where we're doing it for $299, a $299 special. And then the other one is we're going to do virtual international trade missions. So, and we're going to sell a bundle of virtual international trade missions. So let me just share, if I may. So we went to that meeting, that conference I told you about, October 2020. We had our first virtual trade mission with around the world. 1,100 people from 58 countries attended. We weren't even incorporated. I was like, I didn't know what we had, but I knew we had something. And so from there, we grew from 1,100 to, in 2022, we had our second virtual trade mission. There were 1,800 people that attended, and our network has grown to over 3,400 people, and we're not even at the 2-year mark yet. So what we said was, our people want to know how to connect with other countries and what's the best way to do it. So we were just in Miami about 2 weeks ago. We met with the diplomats in 14 different countries to set up opportunities for our businesses to be able to sell our products and services into 14 countries in the Caribbean. And so we're going to do trade missions virtually. We're literally going to bring in companies from the Caribbean who want to buy from American businesses. I cannot tell you, the level of response was just tremendous, that they are really looking for. I mean, they've even said to us, let me tell you, we want to let you all know, Black people in America, you lead the forefront for us. We look to you. We do what you do, and we want to do business with you. So we said, look, Africa is our focus for 2023, 2022, it was the Caribbean. So we said we would combine both, and we would just do a bundle package of a virtual international trade mission. So we're going to do 3 trade missions next year, and that's going to be $597, and you can purchase that in advance, and you can have access to attend all 3.
Right. And you had that one, you had one this month, the 17th of November, correct?
Well, the one
virtual
that we had,
one.
Yeah, we had a virtual meeting. That was a debrief where we came back from the Caribbean to just share with everybody all the opportunities. I mean, if I could tell you, like, I was so proud of our companies, because one of the things that we do is we prep you before you go over, so that we're sure that you're prepared. You know the process, the words to say, how to get your point across, and just the steps. And that's what's intimidating sometimes. People don't know that. But this is what I tell people. Let me say, what I've seen exported. This is why I know one can tell me they can't export. One of our VIP clients, she $27 a month. She took what we taught her. She went and got her grant money in order to go. She went with us to Miami. And her emblem was, she put a logo called Just Be Happy on some pillows, mugs, cups, T-shirts. And when we got to Miami, can I tell you how many people in the Caribbean loved her product? Even a dollar store was like, okay, we want to take your product. We want to market your product in the Caribbean. So there's a market for training. People ask me about coaches. We had executive coaches. We took about 15 companies with us. So there's a huge market to be able to actually get your product and services out there.
Right. And so let me ask you this. Do you have any existing or opportunities or projects for Black-owned businesses dealing with the trade missions in Suriname and Africa and Caribbean and Europe?
So we have the one that we're talking about in Suriname. That one, we're looking for ICT, cybersecurity, and AI companies. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for businesses that can not only sell their products and services, but they're also looking for knowledge transfer. Because what they've said to us is that they've dealt with people who have a colonial mindset, that they come and they take, but they don't leave anything behind. And that our mindset is quite different, because we don't have a colonial mindset. We have a universal mindset. And so we want to take companies with us that are willing to train and teach and create products online that not only will you sell your services there, but once you leave and go back to America, that you're able to offer a product there. The other thing that we're doing, this is so unreal to me. I'm telling you, as I talk about this sometimes, because it was just, Black and Global was just an idea. Literally, it was just an idea.
But Melissa, it's without question that every great thing starts with an idea.
Yeah, but listen, I'm a country girl from Georgia.
With great ideas. With great ideas.
Let me tell you, I've had a paycheck mentality my entire life. As I'm sitting here listening to you all talk about businesses, I'm thinking to myself, my dad was an entrepreneur. My brother, my husband, I had the paycheck mentality. I wanted my good government check. I never would have imagined that I would be a business owner and that I could serve people. But what I was going to share with you is that in April of 2023, we're doing a reverse trade mission where we are bringing a delegation of companies and officials from the Bahamas to Washington, D.C. to meet with Black renewable energy companies.
Oh, you coming to where I am. I'm coming to where I live.
Oh, I'm in the DMV too.
Oh, we got to get together.
I'm in the DMV.
And that's phenomenal that you're doing that, because there are a lot of people of color in the DMV. And they have no idea of how to break into business. And I share with people all around the world, you have to expand your reach and raise your revenue. And that's a saying I coined because it's without question that you cannot just do business here in your front yard, around the corner, next door. You got to do business globally. And I think a part of the pandemic taught us that. So here's a question that I have for you. What advice can you give Black-owned businesses that have an interest in expanding globally but don't know where to start?
So the first thing I would encourage you to do is to join the Black and Global Business Network. That's the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do, because we're really a service-oriented group. Secondly, I would encourage you to reach out to what's called the U.S. Commercial Services Office. Just go on the website, go to U.S. Commercial Services. They're a part of the Department of Commerce. Find the office that's closest to you and just go and ask them questions. That's how you can get started, because their job is to help you. And so they should be able to get you started in the process.
Right. Awesome.
And then the other thing, what I would say is to set your mind to know that you can sell globally. Exactly. That's one of the biggest things. When we got started, Stedman Graham helped us so much, which I was really shocked by. That was another thing that was like, oh my God, yes. I just asked and he responded. And so, but just setting your mind to know that you can sell your products and services globally.
Exactly. And Melissa, you're 100% right about that. And this is why the Black Business Olympics and the Black Business Network are ensuring that we are pushing this information out in over 200 countries to ensure that this is happening. So Melissa, what about us for the Black Business Olympics? How about us? How can we, I think we're already helping people get their message out globally, but what more can we do? How can we help? And be a part of what you're doing.
So the Department of Commerce, they have a global media team. And this media team their full-time job is to go out and help you to expand your media and your network around the world. So you can access the media group at the Commerce Department. They will go out. For example, we have a company that is doing, she has a television show that she put on YouTube, right? Raising Black Millionaires. And she goes into the homes of millionaires, Black millionaires and billionaires. And I said, listen, we're going to package this up and we're going to go to Commerce and we're going to have them to sell your show around the world. And that's exactly what we're doing. She's been picked up in Portugal. She's about to be picked up in Africa. She's picked up in the Caribbean. And she had never had an idea that the Department of Commerce could help her do that. So I would encourage the Black Business Network to do the same.
All right. And we shall. And so, it's without question. It's without question that your business is doing phenomenal work around the globe. But what are your plans? What else is coming for the Black and Gold Business Network in 2023?
As I said, there are huge things. Like, let's say, for example, this year, Black and Global got selected to go on the first minority trade mission in the history of commerce. We went to Italy, Portugal, and Spain. And in going to those three countries, we went to those countries and said, we're looking for businesses that want to do business with Black American businesses. Right. Very unapologetic about our agenda, very focused. We're not people of color. We're not minority. We're Black businesses. That's what we're focused on. And the reception was phenomenal. We had 220 companies that wanted to meet with us, but we only met with 55. That's a testimony that there are people looking to do business with us around the world. And so in 2023 for us, our big focus is the diaspora, the Caribbean, and Africa. We do business anywhere in the world with a special focus on those two areas. So we are planning on joining the second minority trade mission by commerce this year in 2023, which is going to South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. So that's a big one for us. The 2 trade missions I already told you about. And then we're planning to do a trade mission with Canada and Mexico. And so for the North American, for the Western Hemisphere. So for us, it's going to be about connecting businesses together. Like one example I'll give you, like one of the trade missions that we're doing, we're testing out next year. We decided to keep it with the Bahamas. So what we did was we organized to have the Bahamian trade groups in America, the Bahamian Chamber of Commerce from the Bahamas, Bahamian Chamber of Commerce from Canada, from the UK, the Bahamian Chamber of Commerce in Australia, the Bahamian Chamber of Commerce in Japan. We decided to pull in as a test because we're testing our model for what is the best way to go with the virtual trade missions. So one of our trade missions will be around that model where we literally pull the diaspora from one country, from all the different areas, and have their diaspora come in order to serve them. The others will be following the regular model where it's open up for every country, but that's one of the special ones we're going to test to see, because having a conversation with the Chamber of Commerce in Japan and the Chamber of Commerce of Bahamas in that's in Canada and the US and Australia and Germany, bringing all of those chambers together, we're the bridge for that. We're the bridge for that conversation.
In a phenomenal bridge, may I say, because the way each country does business is very different from one country to the next. I lived in Asia and worked in Japan for a number of years, and the customs that we have in business, as you probably already know, if you're in Japan and someone hands you their business card, you're not going to take that business card and put it away. You're going to hold that business card until they walk off, and then you're going to put it in your wallet or your purse or what have you. Whereas in the United States or even in Canada, I spent some time in Canada, you're going to take that card and just thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to call you, and you're going to put it away. And so the bridge that you all have become, you're not only bridging the gap for us to do business, but you're bridging the gap for us generationally, you're bridging the gap for us culturally, you're bridging the gap for us intellectually, even emotionally, because a lot of times people did not feel like they could do business with people in other countries because, oh, they look at me a certain way, or I don't speak the language, and we got caught up in our emotions. So you're bridging a multitude of gaps for people, Black people, to do business in a multitude of countries. And that's phenomenal.
So let me say, so I was very fortunate to live in Japan for years, and I worked for the Japanese tax administration. Literally. So I'm the only non-Japanese person to ever work in their tax administration.
Yeah. And that's not easy to do.
No. And my Japanese,
where you were?
I was in Tokyo. I was in Tokyo proper. Yeah. And so I worked for Kasumi Gaseki, and I literally, my Japanese had to be flawless, reading and writing. I thought they were going to stick me in a corner. But wow. So, you know, we're going to have to talk, right? Because I haven't had anybody speak Japanese with in a long time. But, you know, what was so interesting there culturally, one of the biggest things that shocked me, my husband is Jamaican. We went to the Jamaican festival. And there were thousands and thousands and I was like, why is there a Jamaican festival in the middle of Tokyo? Can somebody explain that to me? And it was thousands of people. And it really expanded my mind to say, wow, you know, I think one of the most challenging things for us as Black people in America is we don't realize the slave ship stopped in many parts of the world. It didn't only stop in America, that we unfortunately were in many parts of the world. And so it is, you know, it's living proof. You're proof. We're proof. That expanding to do business in other countries, people are really looking to do business with us around the world.
And it's a must. So let me circle back to something that we kind of touched on. We talked about the Black Business Network and how can we connect and serve. Yes, we're in 10 million viewers, 10 million plus viewers see us every time we step on board. And of course, we're in over 200 countries. But how can the Black Business Olympics, Black Business Network, how can we serve your company? Because it's without question that your company is doing exactly what you said when you talked about globalizing our connections, keeping us in the Black, and we will see you around the globe. So how can the Black Business Olympics and Black Business Network serve the Black and Global Business Network?
We help us identify top level companies.
Right.
That's what we're looking for. We're looking for 20 A-level companies that we can help to start to export. We want to take a delegation of 10 ICT and information companies, AI and cybersecurity companies with us to Suriname. So if you could help us to identify excellent companies that we can work with, that's our global accelerator, where we do all the work for you. So our expansion program, which is our accelerator, is built for people like me, folks who don't have administrative skills. I am the person that when you want to close the deal and negotiate the contract, that's my game. But the administrative part, I admire people with skills like that, because I don't have them. So we built the expansion program, our accelerator, for the busy entrepreneur. So literally, we have a customer service team that will call you, pull up the documents. It's the government, so it's a lot of forms.
Yes.
They'll ask you all the questions, fill out all the paperwork for you, submit the paperwork for you, do the deliverables. They attend and record every meeting, debrief the meeting, send the notes over. So they're international concierge service. So we take 20 clients there. And then we have a global incubator where we teach you how to do what we do in the accelerator, because the mission is greater than we can serve with the 20 clients that we can provide the one-on-one service for. And in our incubator, literally, we meet every Monday and we teach you how to go and do this business for yourself. So it's done in a group solution. And then we have what we call our VIP program. And I'm telling you, if we could get enough people into this VIP program, I want to showcase Black American businesses. Like when I'm talking about showcase, let me tell you, when we went to Miami and we took that delegation of companies, they said, the diplomats from the different countries, we've never seen companies so prepared, so organized, so professional, that you all gave us the information that normally we have to follow up with businesses to get. But you have it now, because we made sure they were beyond a game when they got to the table, and that I'm very focused on contracts. I'm very results oriented. So that's what we would like to get, is more businesses into our network, to join the VIP program, to join our incubator, and to join our accelerator, so that we can expand these businesses globally.
Awesome. I love it. And so you've shared a wealth of knowledge with us during your time here today. And I want to thank you for being a part of this movement, because that's what it is. We are helping people, Black people, really step into their own. So I think I'm having a bit of mercy with a little more time. So let me ask you this, and I want to invite our folks all around the world. We have a lot of people watching from everywhere. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Go ahead and send your questions in, and I will do my level best to get your question answered. And I'll try to bring it up if I can. And if we don't get to it, don't worry. We will find a way to get to it. So let me
may I add one thing?
Yes, please.
So they can reach us at www.blackandglobalbusinessnetwork.com, which you can see in the logo in the back. They can also email us at the number 4, the word US for us, at blackandglobalbusinessnetwork.com. And if you email us or fill out the contact form and you put in parentheses behind your name, Black Business Network, that will let us know that you came through the Black Business Network. And then we can help you to get those opportunities that we talked about. So we would really like to, because I think this is a great thing that you all are doing, with the Black Business Network and the partnership and the platform that you're creating for Black businesses around the world. It really, it's in line, in harmony with what we're doing, because you're showcasing the businesses, and then we take the businesses to the government, and we sit down with the government and have our businesses go through the process. And the difference for me is, they may be able to tell other people, we can't do this, we can't do that. Right. They can't tell me that. They can. Let me tell you something. When they tell me what we can do, I love it. Please tell me what we can't do. So, we are just in a position. And then the next thing I'll share, you talked about EXIM Bank. So this is what, Dr. Lotus.
Yes.
I'm about to say something that you're going to think is just absolutely nuts. You ready for this one?
Please go ahead.
All right. The U.S. government will finance businesses in other countries to buy from you.
Whoa. Stop. See, this is what I'm talking about when I say expand your reach and raise your revenue. When we talk about government contracts, and people have looked at me like, what? Please say that again, Melissa.
Okay, I'm going to say it again.
Now, hold on, before you say that. If you're just joining us, I am on with a phenomenal international tax expert and export expert, Melissa. Please.
Okay. So, and I'm going to give you some examples of what I mean. Okay. EXIM Bank, EXIM, is what's called a credit export bank. It's been around since the early 1900s, right? Nothing. It's not new. Might be new to some of us.
Right.
But the large multinationals that you see operating globally are operating globally because they get support from the U.S. government. Please don't think you see these businesses and they're doing something magical. It is not that. The U.S. government will loan money to foreign businesses to buy from American businesses, and that includes you. Here's the example. I'm going to give you two. I know it sounds nuts. I'm going to give you two. We're in Milan, Italy in May of this year. Again, we're very focused on, you want to do business with Black businesses? Okay. So we're at the ambassador's residence, and we're talking to all of these IT companies that are looking for information technology, and we're expanding the reach for our ICT companies. Yes. So we're talking to this company, and they want to do a 5G installation in their islands, or whatever you call it. I tell people all the time, I'm not your tech girl. I don't understand the words. I know international contracts.
Right.
So he's saying, we have this we need to have this 5G installation, and talking all this tech stuff. I said, well, we have tech companies that can do 5G installation and towers and cell towers and all of that. And so he says, well, we need financing to do the deal. I said, hold on 1 minute. So EXIM was there, the representative. So I had her to come over to the table. Yes. I said, explain to her what you want to do. So he explained that. He said, listen, I'm gonna make it real simple. We'll loan you money to buy from Melissa's companies. Just that simple. We'll loan you money to buy, because what they do is EXIM, they have a process of, and it's a complicated process. Don't get me wrong. We have to walk businesses through it. But the gist of it is to encourage U.S. jobs. And that's another big piece for us, Dr. Lotus, because one of our pillars is job creation. There's nothing beneficent about what we're talking about. Nobody is so in love with Black people to say, oh, we want you to do business. It's not about that. It is about job creation.
Exactly.
And one of the requirements that we have at Black and Global is that our businesses create at least 5 jobs. And we have a mechanism where the Department of labor has reached out to us to help us with funding and resources for our businesses that create jobs. So that's how we teach that. But the Ex-Im Bank will loan money for that. And Ex-Im was a speaker at our trade summit this summer. And the person that's in charge there, she's senior vice president. She came to speak to our 1,600 people. And the example that we gave, we used Jamaica as an example. So what we used was building an apartment building in Jamaica. So if you have an American construction company that wants to build an apartment building in Jamaica, Ex-Im Bank will loan money to the consortium in Jamaica in order to buy from the American construction company. That's how you see
that's
this
phenomenal.
expand. Yeah.
And that's phenomenal. And I've worked in construction. I was over the cybersecurity for one of the top data centers on the planet. And it's without question that there's loads of money. And here's the thing. I worked at the headquarters and I helped to bring one up out of the ground. And I was in one of their commercials that was global. Okay. So people all over the world would see me. And here's the funny thing, that they started building data centers in Japan, in Korea, in Australia. And so when they would come over, they knew who I was because I was in the commercial. But my light bulb went off and I was like, wow, there's money in this area. And so they were capitalizing on it. And so I am welcoming Black people to start building data centers. Why? Wow. Because data has to be stored somewhere.
Yes.
And so just like you said, the government will pay corporations to do business with Black people.
Yes.
But we've just got to put ourselves in the arena. And now let's face it, Melissa, some areas, different companies have a block on the market. Yet with the way things are today, okay, this is where I'm going. With the way things are today, we have no excuse not to be in whatever business we as Black people decide to be in, is what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts on that?
So, well, let me say one with the data centers. I can validate that because we were in Portugal earlier this year. Yes. Portugal is looking for Black businesses like you couldn't believe. One of their data centers burned down and they are looking for a data center. We just had a company that was at the Web Summit in Portugal, 70,000 people, and he just got back. And that was a couple of weeks ago. So if you're in that market, we can definitely help you with that. But when you talk about that we're in every market, one of the benefits of the Black and Global Business Network is we have assemble a team of Black global professionals. So we have Black corporate lawyers, shipping lawyers, maritime lawyers. We're lawyers. So like our VP of global operations, she's a lawyer, and she was a VP at Sony for 11 years. She was one of their vice presidents, and she had the same epiphany that I had, that she was done burying her talent outside of our community, and Black and Global gave her the way to do it because she expanded them globally and their worldwide fulfillment. And so when you say there are so many of us in different professions, I'm gonna give you another example. Our first summit, we had Jay-Z team, their international team, to participate, and he's based in Africa. And so we were talking about all of the projects that they were doing, and he was encouraging Black people, our companies, to get into international business. And I said, did you know that there are Black corporate lawyers or international lawyers or tax lawyers like me that could help you all structure those deals? He said, we never even knew you all existed. We never knew that was such a thing.
Let me say this, because when I was doing my homework, I read something and you kind of tapped on it, but I want to read something from your website when you talk about, you have who we are. The Black and Global Business Network is an international business development, consulting, training, and networking company. We help Black-owned businesses access government resources to sell their products and services globally. We are international attorneys who provide consulting services, helping clients apply to various government offices, and you don't drop them off
right
at the end of the cliff. And
right.
then you guys went on to say, we have a global accelerator
right.
in which we do the work to apply on behalf
right.
of the client, and a global incubator.
Right.
In the incubator, that's where stuff grow, y'all, right?
Right.
In which we guide the client step by step to apply to the offices utilizing the systems that you guys created. And
right.
then you finished off by saying, we also have a training program
right.
that teaches
right.
companies global readiness
right.
and how to export. Now, if that's not being the things that the companies need, that Black companies need from start to infinity, I don't know what is.
Well, one, I'm gonna say I need you to be my PR agent.
I got you. And so we've got some comments from some folks in the audience. We have a comment by Miss Margie McLean. She says, wow, she really thinks this is phenomenal. Thank you, Margie. And then out of Chicago, and folks, as you come in, let us know where you're joining us from. That is a great exchange that many of us have never heard of. Thanks, Melissa. And that circles back to what we said when you first came up. You really wowed us. And Pastor Hillary out of Chicago says, eyes wide open now. These are some things that she did not know. So we really want to thank you for sharing your love and your light today. So I know we're about to wrap up here shortly, but we still have people coming on all the time. So for those of you that's just joining us, I'm sitting here with Melissa, and she is simply phenomenal. She's an expert in her own right, and she's an expert tax person. She's an expert export person, and she's just an expert at helping people that look just like you and I become proficient in what they do for their business. And her company helps walk you through from start to finish so that you don't just strive to be successful, but you thrive in business. And so I want to ask you this, Melissa. I know you shared earlier how people could connect with you, but we have people coming on all the time. And we would love to broadcast your journey all over the world of Black businesses over the world. So we'd love at the Black Business Olympics, Black Business Network, to partner with you and do that. And for those of you that's watching us, if you have not been on this platform yet, what are you waiting for? Because Melissa said her company is looking for 20 corporations that they can help. And they're going to walk you through step by step and help connect you to companies abroad. And guess what? You can get funding from right here from the United States.
And Dr. Lotus, so let me give you an idea of magnitude. So we've seen contract deals for as little as 10,000, 100,000, up to 100 million. So building, let me give you some ideas. Solar farms in Cote d'Ivoire, $100 million. Doing a solar farm in Namibia, $100 million. A telephone network in Namibia. Another project that's in the Caribbean, that's $30 million. We got a list from the country of Rwanda. Now listen to this. This is why I'm telling you, if I did not live what I'm doing, it would be real hard for me to believe, because many people say, this doesn't sound real. And I get that because I live it and it doesn't sound real sometimes. And like we got a list of 63 pages of products and services that the country of Rwanda needed. 63 pages. And they were, and we talked with groups like CARICOM in the Caribbean about what they're looking for. And they're saying, listen, we need, listen at this, website development, content creation, graphic design. And I said, but it seems like you would have those things. And they would say, well, companies during COVID, they set it up, but they didn't continue the content creation. And they don't know the content creation piece. Again, I don't know the technical part of it, but I'm just sharing the things that have been said to us. When you clothing, design, like one of the most interesting things I've seen, and this is not one of us, but I use it as an example to take excuses from us, is a lady. She did karate classes. She did videos of online karate classes, and she went to Commerce to help her to sell her online karate classes around the world, and they most certainly did. And most recently, another lady, she created online classes for knee alternative treatment, where she does all these massage things for knees and whatnot. And the Commerce took her to Canada. She wanted to meet people who would buy her, use her therapy, and do her videos. And they set up meetings with 30 group companies to meet her, and she sold to all 30 of them. See, this is what we're saying to people. Like when I'm talking about Exim Bank, and we are fortunate that we got appointed to Exim Bank's Committee on Small Business, and we're going to be meeting with him in December, because we consider ourselves to be the voice of Black business in this space.
Yes.
Because we want them to understand what it is that we need as a community in order to serve our clients, because we're not the same as everybody else. Exactly. And so being in a forum where you can have a conversation to say, this is what Black people need, and being uncompromising about that, it's just really a great time for our businesses to really go out and take the opportunity to sell. And listen, what is it going to hurt to ask? Just go ask.
It's not gonna hurt anything. And so let me say this, because I've got to circle back around to this question, because you're traveling all over the world. Nobody's seeing what you're doing but you, and maybe some of the people that are traveling with you. Mm-hmm. And we would love to really capture and broadcast your journey all over the world, of Black businesses all over the world. So we definitely want to look into how we can serve in that capacity. And so now you may not be able to answer that question right now. Mm-hmm. That may be something for another time that we can discuss. You and Dr. Kelly can talk about that, but we would love to share in your journey and broadcast your journey. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm gonna pull my eyebrows out. I'm gonna tell you, here's the thing. So I'm gonna have to just suck it up, because broadcasting and being online and reels and run. I told y'all I have been buried outside of our community and outside of the whole social media thing. And when we moved back to the US, because we lived overseas for a long time, I was like, what is all of this? What's a reel? Can somebody tell me what a reel is? I don't know. But and my team is like, look, Melissa, you got to do the videos. You got to capture this. You got to capture that. So if I said no, my team would beat me up. So I'm gonna have to say yes. Yes. I guess it's a part of business. I think we have a representative for Black and Global itself at the Department of Commerce, and she often tells me that I'm so focused on the businesses getting contracts that oftentimes I don't focus on Black and Global as a business.
Your business. Right. And that's easy to do, because a lot of us in business, we get tied up in serving. Yeah. We forget to serve ourselves. Yeah. And so we're happy to serve your business and design your videos and carry out your journey and broadcast you from wherever you are in the world. And so I just want to thank you, and we look forward to connecting with you even after the show. So tell us again, because we've got probably 1 minute, tell us again how people can reach out to you, because our amazing moderator is back.
Sure. So you can reach us at blackandglobalbusinessnetwork.com. You can go to www.blackandglobalbusinessnetwork.com. And when you go to the join now, it's free to join. Put in parentheses the Black Business Network, and that way we will know that you came to us via this network, and then we will be able to help you take advantage of the 2 opportunities I discussed earlier. But listen, I want to thank you all. Thank you for your mission. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your commitment to excellence. I mean, we really appreciate the opportunity to showcase, and thank you all for helping us to get the word out.
Well, you are most grateful, of course, and we are grateful to you. And don't forget, when you get a moment, please go into the chat. And we have another question that we don't have time for right now, asking about health and wellness. Please join us in the chat and respond there too. And back to our moderator. And thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I just want to say, wow, wow, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Melissa, from the Black and Gold Global Network, for being with us this evening. Thank you for sharing your expertise with everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so very welcome. So genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
How you doing? I'm Rodney Allen Rippey. Yeah, the child actor. Well, now, leading man. Some of you might remember back in the day, the Harlem Globetrotters popcorn machine. Remember that? Well, it was a Saturday morning special that would come on, and I was there with Geese and Tex and Meadowlark Lemon. Remember the show? Well, I had a great time. And I have to say a huge, huge thank you to all my fans out there. Thank you for all the years of support. I went on from the entertainment industry. I started getting into producing and directing. And now, hey, here I am. I'm a studio executive here in Burbank, California at 2526 Studios. I have to say, it's been pretty good. But the best is yet to come. Please stay encouraged. Keep reaching for your dreams and never forget that genius is common. Remember that. Genius is common. No matter what anyone says to you, no matter how tough the road may get, keep striving. Keep reaching for your dreams. And always know that you are worth it. Everything that you put into yourself, everything good that you pour into your life, you are worth it. And when the times get tough, when things don't go exactly right, it's okay. Dust your shoulders off. Stand up strong. And remember, genius is common.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
All right, so we are back. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome back to the Black Business Network. So once again, my name is Pamela Turner. I am your business moderator for this evening and the Black Network. So we're going to talk next with James Rosa Jr. I'm going to tell you a little bit about James, and then we're going to get started. So James is the executive director of Rosa Foundation. dedicated and reliable with over 15 years of combined facilities and supervisory experience in the maintenance field. He's a skilled inventory management, requests for proposals, protocols, contract negotiation, and loss prevention investigation. He's a kind and caring nature and will do what he can to make a difference. He enjoys meeting new people, volunteering, and being a community advocate. I present to you Mr. James Rosa Jr.
Good evening. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
All right. Mr. Rosa, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, tell me a little bit. Can you just start off? Let's just start off by telling me a little bit about your company, and then I'll go into asking you some questions.
All right, no problem. Well, again, good evening, everyone. My name is James Rosa. I'm the executive director and co-founder with my wife, Tevity Rosa, of Rosa Foundation, also known as Rosa Foundation International. And we are a nonprofit organization that give back to the community, whether it's through coat drives, food drives, award ceremonies, just helping the community out the best that we can.
Awesome. I love that, giving back to the community. So the first question we have tonight is, what inspired you to develop your idea?
Well, how we started was, my wife asked me a question and about wanting to run for a city council. And I said, well, let me take a look at it and see how that works. And after going to a couple of meetings, I decided not to do that. I felt that I can do things better behind the scenes than I could out in the public like that. Also, she had a health scare that made us look and say, what are we going to do with our lives? What kind of legacy do we want to leave behind? And, that's how we started the foundation, to be able to leave a legacy, to leave a name behind, and to, for our grandkids. So when they see, hopefully one day they'll see their last name on a building and say, well, that's ours. That was my grandfather and my grandmother. They did some good things in our community.
Absolutely. I love that, building a legacy. I talk about that all the time. That is awesome. So, yes. Have your priorities changed from when you first started?
Yes, a lot of our priorities did change. We still, our main priority, let me make this clear. Our main priorities is helping our community. But they were, due to the pandemic, we had to pivot and do different things. We had a choice. Either we continue with the foundation or we just don't do anything and let the foundation die out. And we chose to do things for our community during the pandemic. I feel that if it wasn't for nonprofits, our community wouldn't be where it is right now. A lot of people would have been lost during the pandemic. And for us helping them out, it was a great thing. So we try to focus more. Our priorities are more now on our youth and our senior citizens, as well as men that are making positive changes in our community.
Wow. Seniors and then men making positive impacts in the community. Awesome. Yes. I love that. So knowing what you know now, right? Is there anything you would have done differently when you first started out?
No. I will continue to do what I'm doing because I have a passion for what I do. There's times that is hard work. There's times that I don't know which way I'm going or which way I'm coming, right? And some days I want to give up. But again, I look at my community and we need to be there to help our community to the best of our ability. Again, I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. I don't want to give up. I'm not looking to be this it would be beautiful if we were to be this big giant nonprofit, but I don't want to take away, and I don't want to lose that hometown feeling, that boots on the ground, grassroots feeling. I don't want to lose that. I want people to understand that we are important, and they are important to us as well.
Okay. And where are you guys actually based out of?
Well, we are based out of Greensboro, North Carolina, but we do things in other areas. Again, we the new name is Rosa Foundation International, so that means we're willing to go anywhere, and we have went outside of our area to do coat drives and food drives. So we are willing to travel. We are willing to go anywhere that we are able to help our community.
So that kind of leads me into my next question is how did you decide where to establish your company?
Well, we was living here. We were living in Greensboro, North Carolina. So that's where we established our home base at. We actually don't live in Greensboro anymore. We're just like 30 minutes out, but that's our home base. That's where we do everything. The majority of the stuff that we do is in Greensboro, but like I said, we are expanding. But Greensboro is Rosa Foundation's home base.
Okay, so Greensboro is your headquarters.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, what challenges did you have to overcome at the beginning of your journey? Like any new company or organization, you go through ups and downs, peaks and valleys. But what are some of the challenges that you experienced?
Well, I'm people say that I'm not, but to me, I'm a shy person, right? Like, is sometimes I had times difficulties actually speaking to people because when I first started out the foundation, I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I had a passion. I knew I wanted to help. I wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than me, right? And but I kind of overcame that. My one of my challenges again is being able to go up to somebody and say, "Hey, this is what we're doing. Can you be one of our sponsors, or can you donate to our organization to be able to do A, B, and C for our community?" And those were one of the biggest challenges that I had at that time. But I kind of overcame that. Now I'm a little bit more outgoing, more spoken, and I have no problems with sitting down with talking to somebody to be our sponsor or to sponsor or to donate to our to any of the events that we're doing.
Now, are there any? Are there any difficulties that you face by soliciting sponsorship? Do you find any challenges there?
We get a lot of people saying that we have good ideas and we're doing something good, but it's like hard to get people to donate to our events, but that doesn't stop us because we find ways and means to get people to donate. I always feel, God has a purpose for us, right? And He'll put the right people in our in our lives at the right time. So that's what we do. We pray and we pray and we pray and we continue to ask. And the more people see that we're doing, the more we get more people to willing to say, "Hey, we want to sponsor, or we want to donate towards whatever event that you're having." Like our coat drive, we have people that are donating to our coat drive because we give out brand new coats to Title I schools in our community. So we got people donating to that. And yes, we want to do the coat drive all year round. The more we can get, the more money we can get, the more coats that we can buy for our use when the winter do come. And again, we just don't want to just focus on one area. I know there's other areas that kids need coats as well. So we're expanding outside of out of the area that we're doing that as well.
Okay. And how long, when did you guys start? I don't recall. When did you start?
We started in 2018. But at that time we couldn't really raise money. So what we were doing, we were taking our own money and we would go ahead and purchase the things that we needed to give to the community. And then, we decided, my wife said, well, let's get our paperwork so we can be legit, right? Mm-hmm. So in 2019, we became legit. We have our 501c, our Secretary of State, our solicitor license, and we were able to start asking for money. I want to say the way we started begging for money. and let's be realistic, right? Let's be real with that. We started begging for money and people started seeing the things that we're doing. People are actually seeing what we're doing. We just last weekend we had our 3rd annual Men Making Positive Changes award ceremony, and we had DMC from the group Run DMC. He came out and he received the award, and he also performed at our event as well. And I wasn't expecting that. He said, "Don't worry, I got you, and you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to do some songs," and people loved it. We had a great time, and that's more of what I want to do. We're looking to do our we're looking around maybe April, our scholarship banquet, where we want to try to give out at least 4 $1,000 scholarships to 4 youths. We used to do for the performing arts.
Mhm.
So we decided that we're going to do something different this time, and just don't be just one box, and we want to go outside of the box and be able to help youth in whatever they're looking to do for their lives and their careers.
Wow. So you guys are helping out the community. You got your coat drives, you got scholarships. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what is unique about your business?
Wow. Never been really asked that question, but I think just the love that we have, the passion that we have, that, no matter what, we can keep moving forward and being able to help in any kind of way that we can. We try to fill that gap in our community. If there's a hole there, we try to fill it, right? And sometimes we have to go seek other organizations that are willing to partner with us to be able to accomplish that, because I feel that nonprofits should be able to come together to help the community. Sometimes it's like you have 5 different people in the same community doing the same thing. I feel that we can partner together, we can help out the community even better and bigger. I don't have an issue with, I don't need the light all the time. God will give me that light to shine when it's time, right? So I don't worry about whose name is first. You can put my name last, because we doing something together for the community. It's not about me. It's about my community and what I can do for them.
Right. Absolutely. Now, we talked a little bit about sponsorship. What are some other ways that you raise some funding for your business?
How we raise our money? Again, we talk to people. We beg people for money. We have little small events. We'll have like a pop-up shop. Get some vendors to come in and pay for their spot, and we take that money, put it in an account, and build from there. We go to corporations, businesses in our community. We send out emails to big corporations. Sometimes we get a hit, and sometimes we don't, but that doesn't stop us. So we just find different ways to be able to raise money to do our events, to be able to give out scholarships.
Okay. And now that we know the times that we're in right now, did you find it is a little harder now to get some of that funding?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because people are holding on to their pocketbook a little tighter, and that's understandable because we don't know where times are going for us right now. So we just continue to pray and continue to just help the best that we can when we can.
Right.
Sometimes it's a little frustrating when you're trying to reach a goal to be able to have an event or buy some supplies for our youth or for our senior citizens. But again, we pray about it. I got to continue to say that we pray about it, and it happens. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know, we realize, but by the time we realize it, we got the money that we need to be able to have whatever we need to do. And we pray about it,
Yes, absolutely. Prayer is key.
Yes.
It should be our first response to everything, right?
Yes.
So, so that kind of goes hand in hand with the next question.
Okay.
What are some of the strategies that you first use to market your business?
Well,
do you have a marketing strategy right now?
We are working on that. This year that's coming up, we're going to really sit down. We're going to sit down before the year is out, and because for the rest of the year we're not really doing nothing other than the coat drive, right? And we're going to sit down and we're going to figure out what's going to be the plan for next year, because we have to be able to find. We got to do better marketing. Right now, the marketing that we got is Facebook, Instagram, and I think we need to be able to do something bigger and better to be able to market us, because we at a level that we are growing, and people are really getting to notice us. So we got to find a better way of marketing who we are and what we do. So we're going to sit down and come up with that strategy on how we're going to do things for next year. And we got some people coming on our board and our advisory that are gun ho, and they're ready to work, and they got some ideas. So we're going to sit down and we're going to put this on paper.
Awesome. That's good. I mean, and you're here with the Black Business Network, so
Yes.
this should be part of your strategy.
Yes, I'm gonna try to set up an appointment with Dr. Kelly and see how you guys can help us, to better market us, to be able to get the world to know who we are, and see if they wanted to come out and help us, whether it's through volunteering, whether it's through, let me say this, and sometimes when people say sponsorship or donation, sometimes people think that you're asking for money. Of course, we need money, because without money, we cannot function. We cannot do the things. We got to pay bills. We got to, there's different things that you got to use the money for. But sometimes sponsorship means, hey, can you let us hold your space? Can we have our event at your space because your space is big enough for what we want to do? That's a sort of sponsorship. Or if you want to get a group of people that are willing to volunteer and help us out, that's another way of sponsorship, or that's another way of donating and giving back. And it's not always about money, So, yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you define success?
I'm still working on that. Success is, let me give you an example. Our first coat drive back in December of 2020, we were doing a coat drive, and we have an organization came at the last minute and donated 150 small boxes of groceries, right? Of food and things. And we had this gentleman that he was a veteran, and we saw him walk by, and we said, hey, come on in, man. We got some coats. We got some food if you want. And he came in and he started crying because he didn't have, no one in the community have ever invited him to something like this. That's success to me, to be able, not that he cried, but to be able to help him to get something that he needed. And to see the tears of joy, because it wasn't tears of sadness, it was tears of joy. That's success to me. To be able to take a brand new coat to a child in a school that doesn't have a coat, that's success to me. You know why? Because I remember I was that child. I was that child that didn't have a brand new coat. A lot of my clothes were handed down to me from somebody else. And I felt embarrassed when I had that. And it's because at that time, my family, my parents didn't have a whole lot. They were doing what was best for the household. And sometimes I would go months without brand new sneakers or coat. But when I got that coat, I felt like a superhero. I felt proud. I felt important. I strutted around like I was somebody. So when I give a child a coat and they feel that they feel successful or something, that's successful to me. That's what makes me happy.
Absolutely. I like that. Success is helping others and providing that resource that they need.
Yes.
And the feeling that they get when you provide that service. So
yes, most definitely.
So what have you enjoyed most about starting your company?
Meeting new people. Getting to know other people in my community that are doing different things. And again, being able to see that smile when I give a senior citizen, when we go to their house and drop off food. And, they're not more concerned about the food. They're just more concerned that somebody cared enough about them to come knock on their door and say hello to them. That's very important to me. That's very important.
Yeah, it's a lot of compassion, a lot of love for the community, and providing those resources that people need that, some people may overlook, but your foundation is helping people and providing resources that they don't always get on an everyday basis. So,
like I said, sometimes I gotta, sometimes I may not have the money that I raised. I'll come out of my pocket. Me and my wife will come out of our pockets. Some of our board members will come out of our pockets to do something for somebody or for a group of people, because again, it's about caring. It's not about always having $1 million. Let me give you another example. When we did our first food drive, we had gotten a grant from our United Way and from the city of Greensboro for $2,500, and we took that money and we fed over 200 people with that $2,500, and I don't know how we did it. I didn't know how like $2,500 took us that far. It talks about I'm Muslim, okay, and I still in the Quran it talks about Jesus Christ and other people, but in the Bible they talk about how Jesus took the wine and the fish and fed all those people. That's how I felt. I felt like wow, he blessed us with $2,500 and made us got us all this food for our community, and I was like wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it's a blessing to be a blessing. So
yes,
and
most
God
definitely.
will make a way and provide
Yes.
you with those resources.
Yes,
So
yes, most
absolutely.
definitely.
So what would you consider, we're shifting a little bit here.
Okay, no problem.
What are the qualities of a good entrepreneur? So you've been doing this for a couple of years now. What do you think is the quality of a good entrepreneur?
Being able to listen to your people. Being able to listen to your people and not dictate and demand things from them. For me, when I was a manager or supervisor and you would come into my facility, you wouldn't know that I was a manager or supervisor because I got down and dirty with my people. We worked together. I didn't say, well, I'm going to go sit behind my office and not do nothing and tell my people what to do. No, I was a part of my people. I showed them that I can do the job just as well as they could. So that's how I handle my organization. I work with my people. We work together because I'm the face of the organization. So if my people are not happy, then my organization doesn't go anywhere. So I show concern and love to my organization, to the people that come out and help. I make them feel a part of, because I don't want them to walk away and be like, well, he did that. He made us do everything and he didn't do anything. He didn't tell us that he appreciated. That's not who I want my people to know, that I appreciate them. If they're out there listening right now, Rosa Foundation team, I love you guys and I appreciate everything that you guys done for us. And I hope that you can come back and continue to help us and do the work that we need to do to help our community.
Absolutely. I mean, when people feel appreciated, they feel inspired to do more.
Yes.
So that appreciation is definitely key. And we talked a little bit about success. One of the next questions that we have is about how long did it take you to find success? Like, when did you start seeing that? Like, did you start seeing it from the door? Like, how long did it take to start finding success?
For me, and I got to be clear with this, I found success when the day my wife asked me, did I want to do this? Because, and I got to say this, my wife is a blessing to me. She saw some things in me that I wasn't really noticing within me. And when she asked me about the foundation and the things that we needed to do, I smiled, like the smile from ear to ear, because somebody believed in me. It's about believing in yourself, but sometimes when you have that person that really loves you to say, I believe in you, that really helps you. So when we decided to do this, that's when I found success, because I found something that I really love to do and want to continue to do. If I can leave my job and do this full time, I would love to do this well, you know what? I do this full time. Even if I'm working, I still do it full time, because I'll get up at 3:00 in the morning with an idea, and my wife gets mad at me because I wake her up to tell her about it. So to me, this is full time, but I really wanted to do this. My goal for our foundation is to be able to have our own office, to have a staff, to be able to really go internationally, whether it's to another country or another state, to be able to help other people, to partner with other organizations, again, to continue and to leave a legacy for my family, for our family. You know, because being a part of a team is just, again, it doesn't just mean about me. It means about the people that are part of it. So if I'm successful, they're successful. If they're successful, I'm successful. We do this together. You know, my thing that I always say is teamwork makes a dream work. And that's very important. And I really, truly believe in that.
Wow. Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, just you enjoy what you do.
Yes, I love what I do.
Yes, I love what you do. And, you know, like you said, I like when you corrected yourself and said you do this full time.
Yes.
Because I'm an entrepreneur, but I still work in corporate as well. But
Yes.
but my baby is my businesses, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So, and that's where your energy, you get your energy and your drive from. So what is the Rosa Foundation working on now?
Well, like I said, you know, right now we're doing our coat drive. We're still looking to raise money. You know, we already have purchased a couple of coats, and so far this year, since school started, we have given out over 150 coats. We're about to give out 90 coats to another organization in a week or so. Tomorrow, we're giving out 30 coats to one of the churches, one of our local communities. There's a group of kids that's in this program, and we're going to give them, some coats. And then after that, next year, we're looking to do our, like I said, our scholarship banquet. We're looking to do another health fair. And then at the end of next year, we're looking to do our fourth annual Men Making Positive Changes Award ceremony. But in between there, we'll do a couple of things in between because I don't sleep. You know, people say, well, how do you sleep? I'm like, I really don't. You know, because I'm not only a part of this organization, you know, my organization, I'm part of different other organizations that also help the community. You know, I'm part of Habitat for Humanity. I'm part of a group called Friends of Stokesdale. You know, so I do, and I'm also on the Chamber of Commerce. So there's a lot of different things that I'm doing in our community to give back. So do I sleep? Maybe about 5 hours. But other than that, you know, I'm out there meeting people and helping our community out.
So, okay. So I'm going to get tough with right quick. Okay. Now. So what has been your most significant failures? Like what did you learn and what did you learn from them?
You know what? I don't say I had a failure. Mm-hmm. Because everything is a learning process. This is for me. You don't fail. If you fail, it's because you try to do it more than one time and you try to do it the same way. So if you do something and it's not successful, now you need to go back to the drawing board to say, hey, I need to do something different. What was it that I did? Or let me go back. What was it that we did that wasn't successful at that point that we need to change for the next time? Or, you know, what we did different, what we need to do different to make it bigger and better next time. I don't see no failure in anything that we have done because we're learning from everything that we do. Every time we do something, we think about what we're going to do different the next time to make it better. So let me give you the example. When we did our first health fair, we didn't have a lot of people that came, right? It wasn't real big. But when we did the second one, it was better. A lot of people showed up. A lot of people were grateful that we did things, that we had some type of medical screening and you know, the police department were there, they were cooking. So we did something different. So we added the food to it and that brought people out. We did a free market where you can come and get vegetables and fruits for free, fresh fruits and vegetables. So we did something different. So it made it more bigger and better. Right? Mm-hmm. The same thing with our award ceremony. The first time we had our first one back in 2019, we only had like 70 people. The second one, we had to do it on Zoom because of the pandemic. But this one that we just had last week, we had about 130 people that showed up to this event. We had to look at what we can do different to be able to. So failure, I don't see failure. All I see is success. We do it bigger and better every time we do it.
I like that. You don't see failure. All you do is you see success and you continue to do it bigger and better as you move forward. So that's awesome. Yes. So most companies and corporations or foundations are successful based on leadership. So, what makes an effective leader in your company?
Well, again, like I said before, it's about listening to your people. It's very important to listen to your people. It doesn't mean that you're always gonna, you want to take their advice. So you have to really take their advices, write down their advices, the things that they say, and really look at what they say and be like, okay, yes, I'm going to go with this, or no, we're going to try this another time. But I listen to them and we talk about it. I don't just say, well, my final word is it. I'm going to do what I want to do in the way I want to do it. If you don't like it, no, that's not how I do it. You know what I'm saying? There's a young lady on here, Margie McLean. She's part of my group, and there's ideas that she came up with that I went with, and she continued to come up with, and she has her own organization as well, the Margie McLean Foundation, and she finds time out to help me to do mines, and I need to do the same for her. Whenever she needs me, she knows she can call on me to help her with hers, and I listen to her ideas. Not saying that I always go with her ideas, but I listen to her ideas and I value her opinion. That's important. You need to value your people's opinion. I value my wife's opinion. I don't always listen to her, but I value her opinion. And when I don't listen, I get my butt kicked. Right. But that's a process. That's what you got to do in order to be a leader. Sometimes you got to try something that you think is right, and sometimes it may not work. But you got to listen. You got to hear. And that's what's important. That's the New Yorker in me. Because I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. So, but yes.
Okay. And listening to your people is definitely key. It's very important. What do you look for when building a team? Like, how do you, what does that foundation look like?
There's again, and what I've just learned is I have to look for people. Okay, when I find people, let me put it this way. When I find people, I can't tell them what to do. I got to ask them, what can they do? What is your weaknesses? What is your strength? Because I can't have somebody say, hey, I need you to go out and raise money if they've never done it before. And I can't get mad at them for not raising the money if they've never done it before. So I got to say, hey, I need you to be a secretary. Have you ever done secretarial work? Yes. Okay, that's what I would like for you to be if that's what you want to be. Have you ever raised money? Have you ever been a part of doing events? Yes. Okay, but if they tell me no, I can't unless they want to learn, then I will teach them. Or I'll find someone that's willing to teach them to do it. So if I can find a chairperson and say, hey, this is what you know how to do. Can you train this person how to do it? So next year they might be able to step up in your footsteps, or they might be able to continue to help you and do something. I can put you do this one and you do this one, and we can come together and do it together.
Absolutely. That is so key, to put people in their strength areas and
Yes.
and taking the time to understand what are their strengths so that you can put them
Yes.
in a good
Yes,
place.
that is very important. That's very important. And and I had a conversation with somebody about it, and I knew it, right? But it wasn't clicking in my head. It wasn't clicking in my head, and that goes back to what I said before: being able to listen to your team and really understand what are their weaknesses and their strength, and what are their opinions and what do they believe that can make something better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, what has been your biggest aha moment in these past couple of years starting your foundation?
I got to take it back to my community. I have to take it back to my community when I'm walking down the street, or I go to a meeting, or I go to an event, and someone comes to me and say, hey, are you so-and-so? I'm like, yeah. He said, don't you remember me? You did A, B, and C for us. That's my moment to say, wow, I really made an impact on somebody. Mm-hmm. If I can just reach that one person, I would like to reach everybody. But if I can reach that one person, that's what's important to me. If they come back and say, this is what you did for us, we appreciate you, good work, that's what makes me feel great.
Yeah, the fruits of your labor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a type of person that, people will say, what's the word I'm trying to find? It's like they say, well, you're doing great. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing okay. I don't try to be this high on this pedestal, think that I'm all that. I try to be as humble as possible and really let people know that I don't think that I'm all that. I'm from New York, yes, and sometimes New Yorkers think that they're all that, but we have to be humble and be patient and show appreciation to people.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I like that. So, what do you consider non-negotiables in your business?
I will not sell myself for money. I will make sure that somebody, I'm trying to put it in the right words. That saying, I will not sell myself to the devil.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to give us something, it can't be with so many strings attached to it. You want to give me $10,000? Fine. If you want me to keep it in our community, that's no problem. But you're not going to use me to try to do something that's negative, that is going to make me look bad because you want me to do something like that. Mm-hmm. Understand? And I don't accept disrespect within our camp. We all need to respect each other, and we all need to listen to each other and appreciate what we do. If you cannot do that, you cannot be a part of this organization. Okay, this is important to my community. Mm-hmm. What we do is important. We may not be as big, but what the things that we do is important to our communities, and I will not sell myself to the devil. I will not take dirty money, as we call it. Somebody tell me, how would you know it's dirty money? I'll know because I know how I feel about it. And when I sit with my team and ask them, or with my wife and ask, should we take this money because this is what they want, and they tell me no, I'm not taking it. I'm not going to be greedy. I'll find other ways to raise that money to help our community.
Absolutely. Having integrity is key.
Yes, thank you. That's the word. That's my, they say integrity is when nobody's looking. That's integrity when nobody's looking.
Yes. And I think a lot of times, I shouldn't say a lot, but some people unfortunately do sell their soul to the devil, and they kind of fall short of integrity, and they want it so bad that they'll do it by any means, and it's not always the best means. Right. So I think it's admirable that you said, I'm going to do it the right way, and I'm not going to sell myself to the highest bidder, so to speak. Right. So, have you ever had any feelings of doubt? And if so, how do you manage feelings?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes when you talk to some people, you have to listen. Again, you have to listen to what they are saying. And they tell you what you need to hear. And sometimes I don't have that vibe, doesn't feel good. And when I don't feel good, when that vibe doesn't feel, that intuition doesn't feel good, thank you for sharing, but I'm going to go a different route because I'm not comfortable with what was going on. And I don't have to tell them that. I just say, we'll talk about it. We'll see. And I'll let them know, I think I'm going to do something different. I don't have to say, well, this is what you said. And, I want to be respectful. I don't want to disrespect nobody. And I want to make sure that, maybe later on in the future, things might be a little different, and maybe, things might change. But, if I have doubt in something, I'm not going to go with it. I'm not going to go with it because, again, our reputation is on the line. Especially the name is named. Rosa Foundation is named after me, and I have to respect my ancestors. My grandparents, my father. Excuse me. This is their name, and I can't disrespect their name.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about in the beginning, we talked a little bit about marketing, and you had mentioned that you were going to kind of ramp up on your marketing in the coming year, the new year. Do you have any idea of what marketing tactics do you find that are most effective for your business in reaching new customers?
Well, I'm going to start with the simple things, right? I would like to purchase like pens, you know, booklets that we can give out to people, you know, notepads with our name and our information on there. We're going to continue with the brochures that we have. We're just going to change up our brochures because we have brochures letting us know who we are, what we do. We have to update that. We have to come with another look. I love our logo that we have. I don't want to change that. We changed our logo like 3-4 times till we get it to where we are right now. And I love the way my logo looks right now.
Mhm.
So we're just going to try to do things different and market ourselves. Let people know more about us. Whether we go on some other websites and things like that. We have a website. I'm going to put it in the chat real quick. Rosa-Foundation rosa-foundation.com. And people can look at our website, go there, and you know, see the things that we have done. We got to update it because we just had like 3 different events back to back, so we got to update it. But if they can go on there, they can donate on there. They can see the things that we have done. They can see the things that we are doing right now.
Awesome. So what's the best way that people can get in touch with you?
Well, like I said, Rosa Foundation, or they can go to our email, rosafoundation@outlook.com.
Okay.
I'll put that up there as well. Bear with me. All right, there you go.
So
those are our ways that they can reach out to us. If they want to know more about us, if they want to, you know, whatever they want to, you know, set up meetings, we can talk. That's the way they can reach out to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rosa, for your time this evening. Such great information.
Thank you, and you're welcome. Thank you guys for having me on.
You're welcome.
Fantastic. What a phenomenal interview. Simply amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you know, Mr. James, genius is coming, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Bye.
Take care. Wow, that was a great interview. Amazing job, Pamela. And I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait to hear from our next phenomenal guest. I tell you. So, Pamela, how was this interview for you?
Oh, it was awesome. I liked his integrity. I liked what he talked about, wanting to meet his people where they are and make sure that they're in the right spot so they can be successful in his organization. I liked how he's all about the community and being able to provide those resources to the community. I think that his business is going to go a long way because people, now this day and age, in the climate that we're in, we need people to love the community, to love the people, and want to help the people.
Yes, you do. And so you did a phenomenal job, and I'm so happy that I'm alongside you as one of the moderators this afternoon. So I look forward to seeing you later. And you know that genius is coming, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. What another amazing time. Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporation. Welcome, 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 welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Dr. Lotus Richey, and I'm your business moderator for the final legs of our broadcast. My name is Dr. Lotus Richey, and I'm just so happy to be here. I'm the CEO of Lotus Richey Coaching and Consulting, LLC. But most importantly, I'm one of the moderators here. You know, the Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And of course, we have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. And so right now, I have the phenomenal, incredible ability to share with you some things about our upcoming speaker. So let's get right into this amazing upcoming speaker. This upcoming speaker's name is Demetrius Early. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's a lifestyle influencer and credit repair expert in the field of business, a field he comes to with 18 years of savvy experience as a real estate investor. With his multi-discipline business background, Mr. Early is committed to encouraging diversity and inclusion, making a difference in financial opportunities for disadvantaged communities and struggling business owners. Demetrius Early is a very successful, humble man of God. He's a husband, he's a father, he's a mentor, he's a coach, he's an entrepreneur, he's a motivational speaker, and also a best-selling co-author and a 7-figure income earner. After being incarcerated for 4 years, Mr. Early led an independent campaign for prisoners exiting prison and taught them his strategies for success. And so with no further ado, I present to you none other than the incredible man himself, Mr. Demetrius Early. Hello. Turn your mic on, Demetrius. It's great to have you here today. Yes, just turn your mic on. When you click on your mic, the line will go away.
Can you hear me now?
Right. Hey there. Woo-woo.
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Lotus? How you doing?
Doing fabulous. Demetrius, what an honor to have you here today. What a pleasing pleasure to be sitting next to you. So, Demetrius, how are you doing today, first and foremost?
Dr. Lotus, anytime I get the opportunity to be in your presence, I'm always doing great. But to have the opportunity to be able to grace so many other people that we're broadcasting in front of right now, man, I treat every moment like I'm supposed to. Like yes. It's the best opportunity for the best opportunity to help someone. And my goal in life is to help people and serve people. So to have the opportunity to be able to discuss what I do and what I bring to the table, let people know who I am, and to be able to be in the circle with people like yourself, it's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing, and I don't take it for granted. So I am phenomenally blessed in this moment.
Well, thank you. And thank you to your amazing team, your amazing spouse, just incredible folks. So let's get right into it. Demetrius, I know that you are doing exceedingly well in your life. You're a millionaire and you're doing very well. But there was a time in your life where you lost it all. And you had to recreate yourself. So can you tell us about that? And don't forget to tell us about the NFL too.
So you want me to tell you about me and then tell you about that, or tell you about that, then tell you about me? Because you already told me who I was. So I like to do that.
I like you to tell people where your story. Let's start with your story.
Well, I'm actually, I'm just a young kid that grew up in a low-income community, raised by his grandparents. My mom and dad really wasn't there for me in my early years. And so I always had a chip on my shoulder to be number one, because I felt like in order for me to be able to fit into the circle of being and be comfortable in the circles that I was in, that I needed to be the best, because I had abandonment issues that I was dealing with. And kind of weird way, it kind of allowed me to be just the best and cared about being the best at everything. And that worked for me in a very weird way, because I was too young to understand what was going on.
Yes.
But when I look back, it really became a part of who I am today. And a lot of the struggles that I've experienced as a young man, young kid, growing up in a community that was drug invested, they had a lot of bad things going on in our community all the time, and learning a lot of the wrong things about life. God had his hand on me the whole time. He blessed me to be able to make it through those tough times and tough areas of growing up in the inner city. But then the amazing thing is that, you know, I had a dream of becoming a superstar. Didn't know, like, I didn't care. Michael Jackson was my hero when I was 10, 11 years old. Yes. I emulated everything he did and was pretty good at it, made me pretty popular. I fell in love with the applause. I said, you know what? If I can keep this feeling going, I'm gonna find something I can do where people can applaud me and call my name out the way these people are calling my name out when I perform. So I was quite the performer as a young man. And I never forget my grandfather at 8 years old used to always say, hey man, you eat too much. I need you to figure out, you know, how to bring some money to the table to pay for some of this food to eat since you want to eat every doggone 5 minutes. And so he said, go figure out how you can make some money and come back and let me know what it is. So I went and I said, okay, I got to figure this out. So the smartest thing I can come up with, Dr. Lotus, was I went to the community, to all the elderly people in the community, and I would run errands for them and go to the store for them, and they would pay me, you know, 25 cents, 50 cents, you know, back as a little young kids. Hey, that's not bad. So here I am running back and forth to the store all the time, running errands. And I knew if I can, faster I go, the more errands I can run, the more money I make. Grandfather was pleased. I was able to eat a little bit more because I was really a very ambitious person when it came to eating back in the day. And so, but unbeknownst to me, I have become a very fast individual. I was very, my legs became very developed at a very young age. And coaches used to always say, man, come play with me. Come play for me, man. Like, I'm like, why y'all want me to play for y'all? I don't want to play. But anyway, making a long story short, I ended up getting talked into playing football in the 3rd grade. And nobody can keep up with me. And there it was, the applause.
Yes.
So I fell in love with football, basketball. I mean, in my neighborhood, if you couldn't play sports or you couldn't fight to defend yourself, you just wasn't going to be a happy person. So I learned how to become the best in that era of life. And I adopted those principles to always go for being number one. And I learned those principles from the coaches that I've been able to be blessed with. Had some great coaches. Most of them were ministers. And, you know, I just took that attitude of winning and that attitude of teamwork, and I incorporated it into my spirit because I was lacking that and trying to understand why my mom and dad wasn't there for me. My grandparents, though, they were phenomenal. They gave me all the love I needed. It was just an amazing, amazing family. But still, when you're a child, you still want to know why mom and dad ain't, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on with that? So those things motivated me as a young man. Didn't understand what was brought up inside of me.
Yes.
But I knew Michael Jackson, Bobby Brown, Michael Jordan, those guys. Hey, at some point, I don't know if you know Jerry Rice.
Yes.
At some point, I'm gonna be on the same level. One day they're gonna know who D. Early is. And so my mind was made up. I had to figure out how can I accomplish this goal. So being multi-talented, it was confusing for me because I can be good at the dancing, rap thing, the singing thing. Then I can be great on the football field. Then, you know, I even joined the band one year and became drum major, and I made history doing that and was like one of the best you ever seen do it. But which one is going to pay me the most money? So when I finally got to a part of life, I said, you know what? I think that football may be the one that I can use my aggression and my, you know, all the complexities that I was feeling emotionally, I can use that and physically be a benefit to me. And because I was so fast, you know, that's the route I took. And I ended up walking on and didn't make it. I made the team, made the first tryout, and lost my career to a car accident. But at the end of the day, you know, I did accomplish my goal. I did what I was supposed to do. And so, you know, that part of my life was very, very interesting because the people who I thought would be happy for me, none of them believed me.
Wow.
It was amazing to me. The support that I didn't have, I didn't realize how much that affected me, but it also created a drive inside of me that, you know what, it's for some reason, it's something I know I'm supposed to be great. I'm gonna make sure that I make it so that the next young man that comes up like me got somebody to look up to that can share in that with them. And so I've always did it for the faith of knowing that one day I would be able to bless and I would be a leader of leaders one day. I always had this thing about myself of being a leader.
Of course.
And so when I found out the qualities of teamwork and that I played a major part and I was a great leader from being a great follower and being a great servant, it was always helpful, want to help people. Had this big old huge heart. I was born on Valentine's Day, so I had this big old huge heart. I said, man, you know what? I got to figure out how to make this work for me, man. It's going to seem like when you got a good heart, people are always getting over on you, taking advantage of you.
Yes.
You always feel like you're the one that's always losing. But then, as I matured in life, I realized I learned how to take these struggles that I had.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that God was building me up to be this phenomenal individual that can make it past any situation or circumstance, and that was going to inspire other people to do the same thing. So I'm just excited about just where he has me right now. But football was a major part. Me being an entrepreneur has been a major blessing. And so many people right now are stuck. They feel like they are not able to do the things that they really dream about doing. And then when I got an opportunity to be able to be blessed to experience everything that I wanted to do, went to prison, came back and got back on top again, lost millions 3 times after making $15 million and losing $60 million with the real estate. Not even losing it though. It was a lesson that needed to be learned that surpasses the understanding of what money is. Like when I learned the American system for what it's worth, and I learned that it was a corporation, and that we're just, when you're smart enough to become a part of the American system the proper way, that you have to become a corporation also. And then I learned how to incorporate and decorporate to become a trust. And I learned all the different things that you could do to really position yourself to be successful. I was like, God, why are you allowing me to learn all of this? Well, when I was incarcerated, all I did was turn that situation into a university.
Yeah. So let me hit a pause button here, because you talked about being incarcerated. You talked about coming out with nothing. You talked about reinventing yourself, and you talked about more about where you are today. But there's some key components that you left out. Okay. You didn't just leave the people in prison behind. You have coached over 1,000 prisoners into successful business practices. You've helped reduce recidivism, from them taking themselves, going back, and you've taken everyday Joes and you've taken them and helping them to be entrepreneurial giants. And you talked about your drive, but you didn't talk about the book that you authored with Brian Tracy called Drive, because this book helped you to help so many people. And you didn't talk about the nonprofit that you also have that's called Make Me, Mold Me, Empower Me. So we want to learn more about that in your radio show, and what is the future of what you're doing today.
So basically, I believe that the human being is, a lot of times we're grown-ups, but we're grown children. Yes. And a lot of times all we really need is someone to tell us what to do, show us how to do it. If you tell me what the problem is, I'll show you how to solve it. I mean, that's always been the reality for me. So we're not gonna we're not gonna try, we're gonna do. Yes. We're gonna figure out how to get it done. And we're not gonna stop until we get it done. And we're gonna do it the right way. And so these principles allow me to be able to overcome anything that ever got in my way. My main objective in life is to overcome any obstacle and every obstacle that stands in my way of accomplishing my goal. And so I teach those principles to people that are starting over in life. And I let people know, listen, when you get the opportunity to get a new start, that is a small percentage of individuals on this planet that gets that opportunity. Don't take it for granted. See it as serious as it is, because a lot of people didn't make it to this point to where they get a new start. So if you out there and you listen to us right now and you on the fence trying to figure out which way I'm going to go, and you mad because you didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish initially, but then now there's another path opening up for you, or you get an opportunity to shut that door and create another door for yourself. Create the new door. Knock it down. Do the best you can, but be grateful for the new opportunity that stands in front of you right now and treat it as such. So a lot of times we have to learn how to love ourselves. We have to reprogram our minds to forget about the things that we were told about ourselves that were not good for us. And we have to learn a new language about the relationship we have to have with our God and ourselves. Once we learn how to love ourselves and understand ourselves, which is what Make Me, Mold Me, Empower Me, my wife and I are presidents in a nonprofit organization where it's called Make Me Moment Empowerment. And what we do is we educate people how to deal with life from an emotional, relationship, financial, spiritual perspective. So we want to make sure that we deal with those areas that most people ignore. And our mental health is super important. We don't talk about it much in our culture. Being able to deal and really feed your mental capacity to be able to understand some of the things that you're dealing with in life, you know, to create a lane where you can be happy, to be a balanced person. Like, it's one thing, I've had millions of dollars in my life, and at one time, it seemed like the most money I had, the more unhappy I was.
Yes.
Well, I asked God to show me, hey, show me how not only to be financially stable, but show me how to be joyful and happy. Show me that. When I learned about myself in that quest to figure it out, because what you're seeking is seeking you, I found out that the more I serve, when I can serve my fellow man, my brother and my sister, that right there is the most rewarding thing that I've ever been able to do in my life. And so my gifts and my talents is one thing, but if I'm not serving my purpose, I don't have purpose attached to it. It's just a very limited amount of joy and peace I'm going to have in that circumstance, because I was meant to solve a problem that nobody else can solve but me, because it's only one me. So all of us have that ability. And we miss it sometimes, focusing too much on our issues and our problems.
Exactly.
And so what I want to do is bring a solution to the situation. There's an answer to everything, and how you do anything is how you do everything.
So let me trickle back on something you said, because I asked you to talk about the nonprofit organization that you and your wife created called Make Me, Mold Me, and Empower Me. And you've taken this nonprofit organization and you've served students, and you've taught them about credit management and how to really leverage that and enhance their life. Now, I believe that you have to put your money where your mouth is. And you not only got in the trenches and taught them, but you also gave away over $100,000 in scholarships to students in Louisiana and in Texas, not only to tell them, hey, this is how you do things, but I'm going to put some dollars behind what I say to help you to get to where you're trying to go. So why is it so essential that business owners such as yourself really back up what they say by really contributing to the youth and to business owners just like you and I?
Well, to be honest with you, when I was incarcerated, you know, I attended a lot of programs, and I noticed a lot of the people that came into the facilities to give back, they would always come in, they would give a word to you, but then there was really not a how to apply this. I made a vow with God that, you know, once you release me from this situation, that I was going to do something different. And so not only did I wait until I, you know, got out to do what I said I was going to do, I did a lot of work while I was on the inside, making sure that, you know, the formula that I was putting in place, the vision boards, the writing the business plan, the tutoring, teaching people how to read, teaching you how to interview, showing you how to dress, showing you how to reinvent yourself, showing you what books to read. We did all these exercises on the inside. Really, what I didn't know, God was preparing me to be able to create this opportunity when I get out. But then, unbeknownst to me, He was going to bless me with a queen that was already doing the work while I was there. So, Make Me, Mold Me, Empower was founded by my lovely wife, Katrina Early, and she was already doing the work. She was it was amazing how she and I met, proposed to her the first date, and she was already doing the ministry, and I was doing on the inside. She was doing on the outside. So it was really a perfect match for what we had prayed for, both of us. And we decided to make this work more known and make it more powerful by coming together, because we were missing each other. We both needed each other in that equation to do the work that God called us to. So I ended up, you know, going back to the prisons and going back in there and, you know, not only giving these guys a good word, but giving them some real steps on how to reinvent themselves and start their life over and not start off from the bottom. You know, I always teach that, hey, prison is not a place, it's what you make it. I made it a university for me. So now I want to give you guys an opportunity to make it what you want to make it, but it's your decision. For those of you who want to be successful, I'm going to show you how to do it. I ain't going to kind of show you how to do it. We ain't trying to show you how to do it. We're going to show you how to do it. You guys got families to take care of, going to work at a restaurant. Sometimes it's just not enough for the lifestyle that we try to live. Okay, it's fine. You made the mistake. You served the time. Now give yourself a new lease on life and don't let nobody resentence you, because the world is going to do their best to try to resentence you. We're going to give you the tools to help you get to the next step and give you an opportunity to be the man that God called you to be. And so I think
let me say one thing. I love where you're going with this, but I've got to ask this question because see, I've met you in person. I've seen you on stage speaking to hundreds of people, telling them your story and empowering them. And one thing that I know is that you don't talk the talk, you walk the walk, and you're helping people all around the world now, because I know of some things that you're doing, empower themselves by understanding their personal credit and understanding business credit. Because let's face it, it's hard for us to work these jobs all the time, and we are one paycheck over broke, and oftentimes our credit is lacking. But you're teaching people the fundamentals of how to have a great life, but you're also teaching them how to improve their credit and how to sustain it and then leverage it. Can we talk about that for a few minutes?
Absolutely. Like, so for instance, like most people that are ambitious about a dream or a passion don't have the funds to fund it. And then most businesses that are just getting started, for some reason, the American system they're not really friendly to a business that's 2 years younger.
Right.
So I noticed that getting started, helping people get started, people that look like you and I, people that I love and cared about, that was really trying to figure out a way to get to that top 5%. Because I believe it's two levels to life. There's the 5%ers that control the world, and there's the 95% that doesn't. And so I've always wanted to be in that top 5%. And a lot of the guys that I communicate with, they want to be in that top 5%, but they just don't know how to get there. And there's no resources to show them how to get there. The educational system has failed them in that way. So what I do is help you get your personal credit to 700 plus credit score for an excellent score. And then I teach you the relationship between personal credit and business credit. And then we show you how to structure your business, make sure your taxation is in place. And then we show you how to build your business credit simultaneously. And what I end up doing is I can guarantee someone who, well, let me not say the word guarantee. We can get you to a place where, and within 6 months, you're in 6 figures worth of credit, no matter where you start. So my company has a way of doing that for you. And because we understand the system on both sides, and we know how to structure and build you up to that place based on the laws that are presented to us, learning how to utilize those laws to benefit us as well. So I studied the laws for years, and I finally figured out how to work with the system to make it work for me. So all I want to do now is help others do the same thing. So if you're a small business out there and you're trying to figure out how to get access to capital, I can educate you. My company can educate you, get you to the next level. I'm also a mentor and a coach, but I'm a straight shooter. If you're not serious about making life real and getting it done, and I'm not a tomorrow person. I'm a right now kind of person. So we have a formula that really educate people, but you have to do some work. And so the problem with a lot of the young people that I've dealt with over the years here recently is that they don't want to put the work in. They want something that's really fast and microwave oven. Everything is not built that way. A successful business and a foundation that's built to last is going to be built on a proper foundation. And we have the formula to help you do that.
And one of the key things that, you said you can't guarantee, but it's funny because one of the key things that I observed is that, you have the know-how because you've done it. You became successful by flipping apartments into condos and so forth. And you had a $60 million portfolio that you started with your investment management company. And to date, you have placed over 10,000 families in homes in the last 10 years. So this is not something that you just decided overnight that you were going to do. You have actually spent blood, sweat, and tears and have, a $60 million portfolio to show that you know what you're doing. And now I read somewhere where you said that your primary goal is to open up new opportunities to expand into a business empire, as well as coaching others on how to become millionaires themselves using debt to their advantage and getting funding by simply using their credit to make money or purchase a home. Now, let me ask you this, because a lot of people, when they hear debt, they hear credit, they hear purchase, they're afraid. How do you help people overcome fear? because you've got the secret sauce. You got the proven dynamic. So how do you help people that are afraid?
Well, I mean, the reality is that education and being in the know, men feel the unknown. We feel what we don't know.
Yes.
And, the educational aspect of it is going to give you the ability to be able to understand how these laws are written and what needs to be done to overcome some of the things that are in our way to give us an opportunity to be able to be treated as a fair individual in America. So the education is the way that we are able to dismantle the fear, the false evidence of being real, because once you know, you know.
Exactly.
Once you know. I mean, so what we're going to do is teach you the principles, teach you how to position yourself, and then you're going to see the progress. You're gonna feel the difference. You're gonna walk different. You're gonna think different. You're gonna talk different. So this is a real educational platform that's putting into action immediately. Like, you're gonna know after one consultation. You give me 10 minutes with you, you're gonna be different. You're not gonna be the same person that you was before you start speaking with me. And the reason why I'm able to walk in confidence, because all the darts that can be thrown in the person's back, I've already taken those darts for you. So, a wise man learns from another man's mistakes. I made the mistakes, Dr. Lotus, and I paid some amazing prices for it. I've lost everything at once upon a time in my life. And having the mental capacity to have amnesia, to not think about those things and do the time I had to do, and then reinvent my thinking to believe in the system, even though I believe that it failed me at one time, to forgive myself, go to God and allow him to show me how to forgive other people, and to be able to move forward with the opportunity to educate myself, to understand my journey.
Yes.
It gave me the ability to be able to desire to help others improve theirs. So the confidence that you would need to be successful will be from an educational standpoint. I do want to say this though.
Yes.
The law of advancement says that you first have to go down before you come up. There's no way to be successful in life without going through some struggles yourself. You will have to be tried and tested. To be able to have someone coach you that understands those issues that you go through, it's very wise to have someone you can communicate with to help you get to the next level, and they can walk you through that process based on what they've been through. The next thing I want to say is I have a website, it's theearlyexperience.com. Theearlyexperience.com kind of highlights all the things that we're doing in the media perspective. The talk show, we have the radio talk show that comes on 102.9 Maybe More Power Radio Talk Show. You can follow us on social media, but the theearlyexperience.com kind of gives you an overview on how to connect with us so we can help you position yourself to get some good coaching, right? And it takes you about 15 to 20 minutes to give us a consultation. It won't charge you anything for that, but we are very passionate about not just being someone that's talking it, that's going to walk it, and you're going to see results, amazing results within your first 30 to 45 days of working with my company. And it's going to change your life. And no matter what level you're on, it's going to help you get to the next level. And so I know that the topic we're supposed to talk about, we ain't gotten to it yet, Dr. Lowe's, but we talked about the 4 legs to building a financial table. Okay.
And that's where we're going with this, because I wanted to ask you this question. You shared in an interview that you wanted credit repair to be the top priority in every household. And so let's talk about that in the 4 legs and why it's so essential.
So when I have a friend of mine, Caucasian friend of mine, and I always ask them questions like, hey man, why are we so different? What is so different about us from your opinions? We have real talk. And one of the things that they were taught when they were younger, before they were 12 years old, they were taught how to budget and how to balance a checkbook and what credit is and how they're gonna afford to be able to pay for their college education. So they had the round table dinner discussions that I didn't have the opportunity to have with my family. So I was very intrigued by that. But I wrote these things down because I wanted to figure out a way to, and I write everything down, Doctor. A successful person, most of these guys, they write everything down. I studied millionaires and billionaires for years, and I studied the principles and things that they do, and I just started following those guys and doing what they do. They read every day and they write everything down. So I wrote this stuff down for the things that my friend was telling me that I just didn't know. I'm like, why? Nobody showed me this, right? So I think that credit is the foundation to how America has put a system in place that you can really be amazingly positioned to be successful in. When I found out all I had to do was have a 750 credit score, then I can buy me some real estate and I can sell it and flip it and make $100,000. That blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been. Why had nobody told me this, right? So, but I walked in and I've experienced it now. You know, I'm a person that's experienced now. So credit is the cornerstone to position yourself to a financial freedom. And don't get me wrong, there are some people who don't believe in going in debt, but some of us come from a place where we didn't have nothing. I started from nothing, guys. I started from zero. And when I got that 700 plus credit score, I bought something and I turned around and sold it for more. And I bought and sold around and sold it for more. Then I started showing and teaching other people how to do the same thing and started partnering with them and making a percentage of what they did. And before you know it, I was a millionaire. So my point is that if it can happen for me, it can happen for you. You just need to get with someone and know what they're doing. That's going to have integrity enough to give you the right information and do it right by you. But the bottom line is this: credit is super important. Teach your children, position yourself. So by the time they get to 21, 22 years old, I would have loved for my mom and dad to build my credit score up to over 700 by the time I turned 21 years old and had an education that understood what credit meant to my future at 21, 22 years old. But instead, my credit was messed up by the time I went to school, got these credit cards, didn't know what I was doing, mismanaged it. By the time I got out of prison, I know my credit was bombed out. It was really bad.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, how am I going to be able to get a new start with a bad credit score? When I go try to buy a car, I couldn't buy it. I was denied. I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out. Okay, cool. We're going to figure this out. So I started studying those laws. I started understanding what the laws meant. I understood what the puzzle was. I look at life like a chessboard, Dr. Lotus. If you look at the chessboard, I want to know what position I was on the chessboard and what game I was playing in the world of America. And guess what I was? I was a pawn. I decided I wasn't going to be a pawn anymore. So now I'm the king and the queen, baby. I'm controlling the board, and I'm teaching others how to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
and we want to be like you. We want to be like you, and we're taking notes. So what's the first leg of building this financial?
So listen. So if you had a three-legged table, what would it do? It wouldn't stand, right?
It would be like this.
It ain't gonna stand. You want a four-legged table, right? You want to make sure that the bank want to see you as a stable foundation they can build on with you, right? The banks are in business to lend money to make money. So they're gonna lend money to people who are low risk of not paying them back. They want to make sure they get paid back. So the first leg is credit. You got to have a strong personal credit score, and you have to have a strong business credit score. You got to have a 750 or better credit score on all three bureaus, and know that there are secondary bureaus that my agency, Advanced Business Consulting, the deal experience, can help you, guess what? Clean all that up and make sure that your credit is where it needs to be. Okay, business credit, you have to have an 80 to 100 paydex score, right? But it's not about how much the score is as much as it is about the credit worthiness. You have to have, it's levels to everything. You have to have a certain level of trade lines and borrowability on your credit report to gauge how much money you can borrow, okay? So we will walk you through that process. If you started from zero, we can show you how to build all the way up to six figures within 6 months. All right, but my goal is to get me about 10 people to, in 18 to 24 months, let's get $1 million off of it, okay?
Yes.
So you give me a call, we're gonna make that happen. The next leg is industry, your NAICS code, okay? The Northern American Industry Classification Code. It's the code that when you structure your business and you go to a bank to open up a bank account, the bank automatically codes you based on industry that you're in. So we have to make sure that your industry is properly coded and that you're in the proper industry. And we have to make sure that the bank that you're going in to sign up with is friendly to your industry, because every bank specializes in something. So once we understand that, now we're with the right bank. We got our credit straight. We have the right bank relationship. Now we got to look at your personal income. How much money you have coming in, okay? The rule of thumb is living within your means. The formula is really simple. The rich people live off a third of their income. So what I want you guys to do from here on out, add everything that's going out of your household up. I don't care what it is. If you go to the store, miscellaneous spendings, hair, nails, all that good stuff. Add all that up, bills, everything, and multiply that times 3. When you multiply what's going out of your household times 3, that's how much money should be coming into your household. That means you can afford that lifestyle. If you're doing anything less, then that means you're living above your means. So we help you with your budget and help you live within your means as well. Because guess what? The reason why your credit is not where it needs to be, if it wasn't there at one time, was the reason for that. We got to get to the foundational problem on how you got to that point to make sure we don't repeat that thing. So we have to change your mindset. The mindset controls everything. So now we got our credit, we got our industry, we got our personal income, and the fourth leg is going to be what? Guess what? Gross revenue. Okay. Cash flow. How much money you making in your business? Okay. How much money you keeping versus what's going out? Okay. So, and what drives all of that, Dr. Lotus, guess what?
What?
Sales. Most of the business that we're in is selling something, right? So, when you do that job properly, you put the work in, then, the credit is important, but it doesn't make or break the deal. So we help you position yourself on all of those 4 legs the proper way, the way that America respects it. So when an underwriter looks at you, you automatically qualify.
Awesome. So I hope everyone wrote down these 4 legs. The first one, you got to have that strong credit, that personal. Then you got to have that business credit straight. You got to get that good PAYDEX score, and Demetrius can show you how. And then the third, of course, is industry, your industry classification code. If you don't know that, Demetrius is going to help you with that. And then your personal income, of course. And the last one you shared again was sales, right? You got to get that sales in there. And so, wow, you went through that. Pow, pow, pow. You gave us some dynamic information that's going to help us help ourselves be the best that we can be. And so, Demetrius, how can people contact you if they want to have a conversation with you?
You can contact me at info@theearlyexperience.com.
Mm-hmm.
You also can call this number, 1-888-276-7696.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can also contact me on social media, The Early Experience. So, again, TheEarlyExperience.com is my website.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on all the social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
You can call us at 1-888-276-7696. And you can also email me at info@theearlyexperience.com.
And also, if you want to email him, to book him to speak at one of your upcoming engagements, he's a dynamic speaker. You can reach out to him at demetriusearly82@gmail.com. And if you want to meet him for a one-on-one credit repair coaching or funding match opportunities, please visit him at www.weRaiseCredit.com. And so I want to thank you for being with us today. Demetrius, you've been phenomenal, and we so greatly appreciate you for everything that you've shared. And we look forward to having you back here on the Black Business Olympics and the Black Business Network.
Thank you, Dr. Lotus. It's been a blessing. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome so much. And you have been
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am from Washington, D.C., but I was raised in Durham, North Carolina. I came to Durham when I was about 5 or 6, and then I travel back and forth to DC because it's where my people are from. One of the unique things about my family is my mother, she's also an artist. She does quilting, and she does a lot of artistic things. And then my son, he draws with both hands, his right hand and his left hand like I do. So that's kind of a family trait. And then my other son, he's a videographer, and my daughter, she works, she's a regional vice president for Sunglass Hut. When you start out drawing and sketching, you want to continue to explore, you know, each avenue. I do pastels, I do pen and ink, I do painting, I do acrylics. I haven't done oils yet, but I try to do all facets of art. What I say to a lot of times to people is, you know, you can't put yourself in a box when you're an artist. You have to explore. And over the course of my life, I've tried to explore different mediums. I also do sculpture as well. I choose my subjects by the intensity that they have in their faces, or the intensity that somebody is moving, because I do more than portrait drawings. I also do I do abstract, and then I do figurative drawing also. Well, what happened in this particular show is that I started out trying to come up with something that would be a little bit different than what everybody else is doing. So I was working on a Barack Obama show, and they wanted me to do some paintings of Barack. And so what I did was, because of the deadlines, I kind of did it kind of fast. And then I realized when I was doing it fast, I enjoyed it. And so then I started doing other pieces the same way, and I started to enjoy those pieces also. And so I came up with this particular style. And it's a style of lines and colors. And what's interesting is that when I was in college, I did a show called Lines, Colors, and I talked about the boldness of the blacks, the hotness of the whites, and this is how this has come about, you know, later on in my life. And the colors comes from a lot of the entertainers that I work with, where they wear different colors. They don't wear, you know, your plain reds or your whites. They wear different colors, and so that's also another piece of what's giving me the colors. The subtitle of this show is Faces That Speak Life. That's real critical. Faces that speak life. Each one of these pieces is a life source and a life energy that's being put on display for people that are looking at it. You know, I always say in terms of my art, it's not important that I draw them. It's important what you get out of what I draw. You know, I don't try to just draw it because you like it. People wanted me to do prints. I didn't do prints. You know, people asked me to do different people, but the people that I choose are people that make a difference in the lives of people in the world. So the human landscape idea was, again, as I say, the lines represent your emotions, it represents your ideas, and it represents your journey as a human being. And that's why you get the different pieces and the different looks. And as you notice, I try not to do one look that looks alike another look. And that's what's the most important part of this show.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Demetrius Early. He just was so profound in his sharing. I have the amazing pleasure to introduce to you all our next speaker. And for those of you that's just joining us, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and great day. Business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations, welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Dr. Lourdes Richey, and I'm your business moderator for the close of our broadcast, our 7-day broadcast right here on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. And we have speakers from all around the world, from North Carolina, from London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. And our phenomenal speaker that's coming to grace us here shortly is none other than Dr. Eric Kelly III. Dr. Eric Kelly III is an acclaimed business leader, an entrepreneur, a self-taught artist, an author, a poet, and a community activist. He is the CEO of the Black Business Expo USA and is the founder of the Black Business Olympics, one of the largest virtual global business showcasing events. He's a servant leader who has assisted others to grow their businesses and is always giving a hand up. I would like you to stand to your virtual feet, if you will, and welcome none other than the remarkable Dr. Eric Kelly III.
Lotus Riche, Lotus Riche, Lotus Riche. What can I say, Lotus? You know, when you begin to talk about service and doing things the right way, you have truly been a star in our galaxy. You know, before I begin my talk this evening, I want to say to you, thank you so very much for all of the videos that people have seen. I think sometimes you're doing things and you're moving so fast until people don't really get an opportunity to appreciate, you know, what you do. And I want to tell you, not only thank you for videos, thank you for some of the speakers also. And as I get ready to go in, you know, thank you for that introduction. For those who don't know me, I can talk about it till we turn gray, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about the people, not about me, but the people as we get ready to move forward.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. Kelly, I look forward to hearing your amazing discussion with all the people in the over 200 countries that we are blessing. And did you know this? Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side. Take it away, Dr. Kelly.
And of course, when you say take it away, take what away? First of all, I'd like to say to everybody, it's been a joy this week. When you begin a week like we began, we started out on Monday, and I want to just recap those days in the week. I want to just go backwards just for a moment and talk about what the Black Business Olympics is all about. Many people just don't understand that when we first started this in 2020 during the pandemic, everybody was at home. It was a leap of faith to get online. And we got online to reach out to people all over just North Carolina. And as we started reaching across North Carolina, all of a sudden people were calling us from all over the globe because speakers wanted to speak. They wanted to present and tell their stories. And as I listened to so many people out there thinking about being in business and thinking about how they were going to survive, I thought to myself, I said, it would be great if we brought global speakers together 7 days a week and create a university where people not only could study, but they could listen. And more importantly, they could understand how to connect globally. And so as we've gone on this journey since 2020, and last year, we had an opportunity to do it 4 times a week. And many times people ask me, how did you come up with this? How did all of this come about? And I have to take them all the way back to 1981, when my grandmother walked into my office and she said, I want you to do an event for me. And she was a civil rights leader. She was a negotiator for AFL-CIO. She was a negotiator at the Gold Kiss Poetry right here in Durham, North Carolina. And she was the type of lady who would help Black people not to get mad for that 5-cent raise that they was going to get, and to teach, you know, other folk how to give a raise. And she was that lady who balanced it. You know, her nickname was Big Mama. And Big Mama was truly a little lady, but she was Big Mama when she walked into the room. And as she began to talk about this event, it was just then called a business event. And so I'm talking to her, and she says, I want to bring Black businesses and corporations into one room because I am tired of hearing people talk about there are no competent Black businesses. And so as I was sitting in my office that day, and I remember that day, you know, I had just moved on the second floor on Parish Street, which is Black Wall Street. And I was on Black Wall Street for over 10 years. And so as she talked, I didn't even think it was a thing. All I thought was it was my grandmother who walked into my office and said she wanted to do an event. And so we did the event the first time, and we had 93 businesses to come out at what was then and what's now the Marriott. Then it was the Omni. And so I looked at that and I said, okay. And my grandmother looked at me and she said, this is an all right show. It was my first show. And I was I was selling high when I was walking around talking to everybody at this tabletop show. And my grandmother was like, son, you can do better. And so the next year we did another show and we got Pipe and Drapes. And I thought I had done a great job. And then she said to me again, son, this is a good little show. And so I started to do what I tell people in business to do all the time: research. And so I started researching trade shows and going to trade shows. And when I realized that many trade shows had something I didn't have, and that was keynote speakers, people who was going to draw the audience. And we started to get keynote speakers. And back in those days, before George Frazier knew who he was, and he was on the front cover of Black Enterprise. He was the #1 network in the world. I called him on the phone, got him. Tony Brown of Tony Brown's Journal, called him on the phone, got him. You can't do that these days. You can't just pick up a phone and call people. And that's how it all started. My grandmother said to me, the reason that she wanted to do the Black Business Expo was to raise scholarships for kids because I went to school on art scholarship. That is why I showed that piece earlier, so that people could really see this whole movement is all about. It's about our kids. Many of you probably sitting out there saying, yeah, I enjoyed the speakers, I enjoyed the information, but it's about the kids. It's really about the kids. It's not about all of the speakers, because many of the speakers who are speaking, some are millionaires, some are thousandaires, some are hundredaires, but all of them are running a business and reaching their dreams and their goals. I point out to most people that the #1 thing, as my great-grandfather, Henry Papa Stansel used to say, he used to say the #1 thing in the world is thinking. #1 is thinking, but #2 is sales. #1 is thinking, but #2 is sales. And #3 is research. Know your audience. And so we have done 1 week. We started on Monday with inspiration, education, and empowerment. And the reason we did that is because the Black Business Olympics is set up like a business plan for business owners to go through a whole week and learn how to do business. It's a university, and that university gives you speakers from all over the globe, not just in your neighborhood, but all over the globe. And so as my grandmother talked to me about that art scholarship I got and how that art scholarship changed me, she also said she'd like to see that change students all over North Carolina. And so as I said before, how did we get here? As I talked with my moms, and my mom said, you know what, people are at home. And I said, well, they're at home, we ought to do an Olympics. And so that's a part of how we got here. And so on Tuesday, I talk about Monday, but on Tuesday, what happened? Tuesday, we decided to do advertising, public relations, marketing, merchandising, sales. If you have a company, you want to have the inspiration, the education, and the empowerment of opening a business. And then Tuesday, we did all of the things that you need to get prepared for once you finish your business plan. And then on Wednesday, what we did on Wednesday was 64 ways to do your business on the internet. And many times we missed the free stuff. The internet opened up a whole new world for everybody. The metaverse, blockchain technology, NFTs for artists changed everything as we all sat and watched. And so as we looked at Thursday, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the reason I'm taking my time right now to talk about the event is because I think many times people don't know the why, the what, the who, the when, the where, or even the how. And so on Friday, after we did on Thursday, diversity, equity, inclusion, Friday, we took our time out and we discussed Generation X versus Generation Z. How do we build the generational divide? Some people call it the digital divide. I say the generational divide. And then on Saturday, we did Black Business and the Culture. And today, we did Black Business Sunday. Now, when I say all of those things, you got to understand that we did it from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. And then we flipped the script so our people in the other countries could see it when they were up and walking around too. Yes, the Black Business Network is a global network. And that global network has been moving down the track 3 years now. Last year, we did it quarterly. This year, we did every other month. And next year, we're going to do it every month. Yes, I know what you're thinking. How are you going to do it? And I'm going to answer that this evening. I am going to do it the way I've done it each and every year with building teams. And when I bring up the word team, I want to thank the people who work with the Black Business Expo. Sometimes when you're doing things, you're thinking that you're serving people, and sometimes you're thinking you're helping people. And sometimes you're doing something that's changing the lives of people that are watching. And so before I talk about the $1.6 trillion in the African American community, you know, and we often sit back and think that America the Beautiful is the biggest continent with Black folk. Well, there's a continent called Africa that has many more people. So as we get ready for the thank you, I want you to think about this. The average age in this country is 29 years old. The average age in Europe is 27. The average age in Argentina is 27. The average age in South America is 29. So the average age right now is 29. And that's the real deal. So I want you to think about that number as I wrap this thing up. My team, I want to thank my mother, Willie Francis Cagle, who on November the 5th at 11:43 a.m. gave birth to me. I want to thank her for bringing me in this world and taking me down those 9 months and allowing me to be the man that I am today. I want to thank my sister, Esther Cheryl Williams, who cooks for the team. She's a chef. She makes sure the food is for all of the team that's in the background. I want to thank Lisa Williams, who is really the one who's has the mindset of saying, don't stop, don't let people stop you. Want to thank people who started out with me, like Gerald Stone, who's on my board of directors. Want to thank my board of directors. Want to also thank the people who have been with me the longest since last year. And one person I want to thank, the celebrity speaker coach, Barbara H. Smith. Barbara's been with me. Barbara has been a joy to work with. Then, of course, I want to thank Margie McLean, who's been with me, Madeline Ann Lewis, and should I say Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis to get it right? And then a guy I want to thank, Mark Lee. Mark Lee, the engineer. In many circles, he's behind the scenes, but in our circle, he is the one that stirs the drink. Want to thank Mark for all that he does, each and every one of these. He's been here the whole time. Then, of course, want to thank Tandra Price. Want to thank a young lady who is known as the Metaverse Goddess, but more importantly, she has been doing so much work for the Black Business Olympics. A young lady who hails from right out of Virginia. A young lady by the name of Nicole Maxwell. Want to thank Nicole Maxwell because without Nicole Maxwell, some of the things that you see that's going on behind the scenes in social media, when you look on Twitter, when you look on YouTube, when you look around and look at Spotify, when you look at our t-shirts that I'm going to talk about a little later, you look at our cups and hats, and you look at some of the ideas, being the technology person on our board, she does an outstanding job. Also want to thank Lotus Riche. Lotus Riche has been with us for quite some time. She does all the videos, as I said earlier. Want to thank her also. Tyrone Poole, want to thank him as he's a spiritual leader for us. And then, of course, want to thank a young lady that showed up this time and really did some great work. Want to thank Dr. Linda Mitchell and Lanisha Bridges. Want to thank her also as I think about those folk who have done great things. Now, many people would start out thanking the team, but the people that I think were more important than the team were folk like Dominique Milton from the Carolinas Minority Supply Development Council, who came in and brought two young men, Robert Chandler, and of course, Keenan E.P. Washington of Brandley Creative Group. Want to thank the lady down in Australia, 12 hours ahead of us. Right now, it is Monday there. Muriel, want to thank her. She did the blueprint in building. I remember it was blueprint building an ecosystem. I think that's what she talked about. Want to thank a lady who's truly has done a great deal for us at being a moderator, being a speaker, being a young lady we could call, and just a great personality. Pamela D. Marshall. Want to thank Pamela D. Marshall, who talked about embracing corporate culture. Want to thank Dr. Linda Amerson, the Hair and Scalp and Skin Therapeutic Essentials, LLC. And then a young lady, want to thank Rashida Frazier, Empowering Greatness, Inc. And then a young lady who I really enjoyed watching, Lisa Santiago McNeil. Her and her husband put on a talk that really was not only invigorating, it was powerful. Want to thank Bill Hudson, who CrowdMax Publishing, I believe it was, who did a sensational job about crowdfunding. And then a two-time Super Bowl champion, gentleman by the name of Tyrone Poole, who talked about the formula for ultimate success. And of course, you got to remember Pamela, her name was Pamela Orizi, Pamela of the Old Store, I believe it was. She talked about experts and influencing women empowerment. And then Jacqueline Lulu Brown, a favorite person of mine, talked about operating in your own power. And then Kimberly Mays, who talked about the presence of marketing automation. And of course, as we talk about her, we got to definitely talk about our next guest, a gentleman about Steve the Legacy. And then, of course, Lawrence Nichols. And Lawrence was our moderator and also one of our speakers. And then a young lady talked about branding and licensing. And this was on day 2. Now, I want you to understand that when I talked about those different days, day 2, we had Teresa Chambers. We had Dr. Tanya Blackman, who talked about, securing your own bag. Her company, I believe it was Conglomerate Empowerment. And then Brian McNeil, the sales confidence coach. He talked about closing sales. And a young lady who was really powerful, Lori Mitchell, who talked about women in technology. Then Diane Sevitt, healthcare training solutions. And then, yes, indeed, on day 2 was Dr. Lotus Riche, who talked about video, social media. And of course, Vaughn Showell, developing tax advantages and income strategies. And then, of course, Dr. Stephanie Ardrey, 420 Wellness Jamaica. She has a retreat down there. She talked about global business opportunities, but she has a place down there in Jamaica where you can go and get healthy. Then Jasmine Powell, her fireside chat was phenomenal. And then Renata Brown, who talked about marketing collaboration. And then our guy Idris Talib, who talked about the power of social media. And then, of course, if you needed a grant, if you needed something for your nonprofit, we had a lady who was here by the name of Dr. Barbara Wright, and she talked about fundraising readiness. And then again, Tandra Price, who talked about mastering the art of communication. And then we had, of course, this is a global deal. So we had a gentleman by the name of Franklin Marshall with the African, I believe it was this, the African Trade Association. And he talked about the power of trading worldwide. And then a young lady who called me up out of the blue as we were just about done with all of our speakers, a lady by the name of Evie Edwards. And in talking with her, she was talking to me about the kinds of things she was doing with KEI, marketing and consulting. And then she started talking about the global and business organization. And all of a sudden, I was locked in. She started talking about Melissa Muhammad and that great organization. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But I just want to tell Miss Edwards, great jobs. Thank you for giving us a call. Then we had Tommy Morgan Jr. with Get Lit Worldwide to come in. And then I talked about that powerful dynamic duo, as they call themselves, the empowerment duo. That's Brian K. McNeil and his wife, Lisa Santiago McNeil. And then, of course, we had C.F. Jackson teaching us about how to create a video. And as you can kind of see how this thing is going, where people from all over the globe coming in to train you. And we're just on day 3. And then we had the Metaverse Goddess talking about reality meets virtual reality. And that was Nicole Maxwell of Black Multiverse. And then we had young folk to show up, young lady by the name of Amber Starr. We had Al Revers, who also talk about funding your small business. And then, of course, my son was here, Alan Thornton, who talked about money for your mission. And then we had a phenomenal speaker by the name of Dr. Linda Mitchell, who talked about leaving corporate America to follow your dream. And as a matter of fact, I believe her husband actually interviewed her. Great time. And then Thursday, diversity, equity, inclusion. We started out with a lady And I want to thank her. And this is my thank you to her, everyone. I always want to thank the speakers because they are my worldwide family. Want to thank Tammy Hall, who did the State of Black Business. And of course, Tammy's office is the North Carolina Hub office. And if you know anything about North Carolina, you need to know Tammy Hall. And then Lori Scales, Civility Management Solutions. I think that was her company. She talked about women working with women. Great topic. Then had another young man who talked about real estate. I believe his name was Brandon Baines. And of course, Kat Cachado, she was really a great lady who talked about Pilates in the Black community. And then, of course, April Heidelberg. She did a fireside chat with Dr. She did a fireside chat, and her topic was giving me the best of me. And then, of course, I had my cousin again, Dr. Sandra Wall Williams of the Vision, I believe it's the Vision Builders Institute, who talked about carrying out our vision in confidence. And then Dr. Latoya Small, who did the fireside chat on giving me the best of me. And of course, I can talk about it till I turn blue in the face, but I gotta always talk about a lady who brought it home on Diversity and Inclusion and Equity Day, and that was the celebrity speaker trainer, who was Barbara H. Smith, who incidentally talked about presenting with poise and power. Man, the BHS and Associates Group has always been a stalwart with us. And then a lady who really stepped up and did some great things for us and has been a joy to work with, Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis. And just before I move into further past anybody else, she talked about having a successful mindset. And when you look at how she has been working with the Black Business Olympics the last year, she has really shown me what having a successful mindset is all about. I want to thank you, Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis. And then, of course, Milani Shani of Milani Shani Global, who talked about leading leaders to purpose. Great young lady, did an awesome job, brought in a couple of speakers who really brought home some of the great things and showcasing some of the great Black businesses around the globe. And then, of course, Arlene Lambert, who talked about when is the best start of a new business. And then, of course, we also had Bridging the Generation Gap in the Metaverse on Friday. And again, we had Nicole Maxwell of Black Multiverse to come and really bring it home, how to bridge that gap. And then, of course, Dr. Ivanka Farabee of Live Shackle Free. Denise Lee Kinsler. And then we had STEM City, one of our sponsors. We had a young man with STEM City by the name of Sterling McKinney, who talked about what STEM City represents. And then we had Dr. Danielle Butts, who talked about becoming, I believe it was, becoming your money manager. As you know, we had 145 speakers. So it's, if I miss somebody, hold it to my head, but not to my heart. Then we had the gentleman to talk about business expectations, Doug Easy, who is with Largo Financial Services, LLC, I believe, and Oman, a phenomenal presentation. Thank you for that, Doug. Then we had Naomi T. Lewis, who is one of the top auctioneers in the world. She's in a marketplace where there are not a lot of Black folk, but her and her daughter, who are grand auctioneers. And of course, that company, I believe, is Naomi T. Lewis Fundraising and Auction. I want everybody to sit back and relax, but more importantly, I want you to go online and see the replays and see the phenomenal speakers that we had this week. Then we had Warren Smith, who talked about establishing your business and building your business. And of course, across the pond, we had Growth and Expansion by Joan Rays Niles. And of course, her company was Expand Life Mastery. And then we had a young lady, 25 years old, who talked about leading leaders to purpose. Amber Shani, Amber by Creations, outstanding young lady, and more importantly, an outstanding artist. And then, of course, the Ice Cream Man, Black Business Breakdown, Successful Solutions by Lamar Smith. And then, of course, as we moved on into the rest of the week, we had Renata Brown to also speak about marketing collaboration. And as we get to the end of the road, day 6, which was, Black business and the culture, we had a young lady who talked about money psychology. Her name was Sharita Carthorne of the Carthorne Group, and she did an outstanding job. And then Teresa Davis today with TD Productions. And then, of course, Dr. Tyrone Tabor, Career Communications Group, STEM City USA, talked about the future and STEM City USA. Not only talked about it, really got deep in the weeds and pulled back, some of the cobwebs off of our minds in terms of what the metaverse is all about in his mind, where the future of STEM City USA is. And of course, you can see us right now on STEM City. So, hey, go there as they do it live. And then, of course, we had Black and Global Business Network. And many people were sending out a lot of questions about Melissa Muhammad and her group as she began to talk about global export for Black entrepreneurs. And as she began to talk, we at the Black Business Expo really looked across the room and said, aha. We had an aha moment. And that aha moment is, how can we continue to serve the great businesses that continue to come on this platform? And the Black and Global Business Network, oh my goodness, a great network that we look forward to working with. And want to throw out a shout out to Envy Edwards, who was the catalyst for making this happen in terms of the relationship, in terms of getting Melissa Muhammad on. And we are sure that in the future, we'll continue to do as much as we can to serve her organization. And then we just had Demetrius Early of the D Early Experience. I want you to go to his website. He talked about the 4 legs to build your financial table. Come on, guys. Let's take the time out and go and look at what's going on in the marketplace. And then, of course, we had Jerry Smith, JS Consultants, to talk about, you are what you brand, which was really, really, really an awesome presentation, because many people don't know that they are what they brand. Then, of course, we had Lanisha Bridges, and I believe Lanisha talked about strategic planning for an impactful future. I know y'all probably sitting there saying, how can you remember all of this? Well, I listen to each and every one. My great-grandfather said that the number one skill in the world is listening, and that's what I work on all the time. And definitely James Rosa Jr., who really talked about integrity in business. When you begin to get down and start talking about business with business owners, and James Rosa brought it home, it's not about the money, it's about integrity. And of course, he talked about integrity. And then earlier today, we had a gentleman who talked about mental health for small business owners. And that was Virgil Thornton Sr. of CMV Communications. And yes, indeed, a great time this morning, right behind Darrell Anderson. Him and his wife, they talked about it definitely. And I know she's going to shoot me because I said I listened. Her name will come to me in a minute. And of course, we had Marketing Plus Size Women, and that was Kate Sherry who was there. And then starting off our day was Darrell. You know, they call him the bishop, Dr. Darrell Anderson of Darrell Anderson Ministries. You know, and as we get ready to get out of here, in terms of saying thank you, what I want to say to everybody is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because without all of these speakers, we would not have been able to do what we did. And sometimes people wonder why I take out the time to say thank you to the speakers. And we had so many great sponsors, but I say thank you to the speakers. And the reason I say thank you to the speakers is because the speakers are who make it happen. They take time out of their life and they make it happen for us. They take time out of their lives and they come on a platform to talk to kids about what they can be in their lives, where they can go with their lives. They take out the time. You know, some would say I take out the time, but they take out the time and talk about how they can do something great for kids all over the world. And what really amazes me is not only do they take out the time and do it, they take out the time and give it to us with excellence. And the reason that I'm thinking about this is because I think no one even realizes what time is all about. Time is something we can't give back. Time is something we can't control. Time is something that we all have to give. You know, earlier as I was thanking all of the speakers, and I was working in my head to call all of their names, and I'm pretty sure I probably missed somebody. But this morning I was impressed with one speaker, and that was Virgil and his wife. And his wife is Dr. Michelle Boone Thornton. You know, sometimes it just smacks you back in the head as you're moving down the runway of thank you. And I don't want to leave here without saying thank you to her. Because when you listen to power and you listen to people begin to talk about their lives and what they do, now you begin to see into the window of how you can do something great. The Black Business Network is a network of global speakers. Ask yourself, what did you get out of it? What did you really get out of it? Did you really get anything out of it? And I would submit to you that our students got more than enough. Our business owners got more than enough out of it. And more importantly, my mother and my family got more than enough. I want everybody to know that doing what we do and bringing people along with what we're doing is not easy. When you begin to look at the 2,100 speakers that we've had in the last 3 years, and I said 2,100 speakers who have come on our platform and spoke, you have to look at how did we do it? And we did it with a worldwide family. That's why I thank each and every one. And for companies and corporations, if this is the first time that you've seen what we're doing, we want you to know that next year we will be doing it every month. Because What we're working on is building a network 365 days live. I just want to pause when I say that. The why we do it is to raise scholarships for kids, to change them from the entertainment culture and change them to the entrepreneurship culture. I want you to understand that many of our kids today, they're helpless. They don't know where to go. They have parents who work with them to be basketball players, football players, actors, singers, dancers, rappers. And they believe that that is the only way that they can build for themselves. And many times, many of them end up in crime because they believe that's the only way that they can build for themselves. And what we're saying is that's not the way. What we're saying is that you can be an entrepreneur. Many times I talk about this. Black Wall Street. I want people to understand if there's $1.6 trillion in our community, and every Black person right now in North America would open a business, that wealth gap that we know would disappear. For those who don't know, the wealth gap is $171,000 to $17,000. And many times when you hear somebody say, if we all open up businesses, the wealth gap would disappear. Well, Black Wall Street proved it. Places like Durham, North Carolina, the place of the first Black Wall Street. Places like Oklahoma, where they bombed that Black Wall Street. Seneca City, right there in New York City, where they just took Black Wall Street. They took Central Park from the Black folk. And then I can go to Greenwood, and I can go to High Point. I can go all over the world and all over the places in North America where there were Black Wall Streets. And what was the one undeniable constant with all of those Black Wall Street? There were Black people building businesses to help other Black people to be prosperous. So when they ran the highways through Durham, North Carolina, when they did the redlining all over the country, when they bombed Oklahoma, when all of these things happen in our communities, we have to ask ourselves, what is the next set of our community is going to look like? And I submit to all of you that the next set of our community is our youth. That's why we do it. To change that entertainment culture. You've been in rooms when somebody walked in the room and somebody said, oh yeah, he's the entertainment. She's the entertainment, which means that what really is your value? Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a great basketball player, you're a great singer, you're a great dancer, if you're great at what you do, I will applaud you. My only challenge to you is this. While you're great at the front street, which being out front, who's handling your money? Who's handling your business? Who's making sure that you're not broke when you break a leg? That you're not broke when you tear an ankle up? That you're not broke when you grow older and out of that entertainment that you're in? That is the key. Some people say we need more lawyers and doctors and agents and all of these things. Yes, we do. But the one thing that we know that's not defeated, that's entrepreneurship. We know every sports has been defeated, but we know entrepreneurship has never been defeated. So I implore each and everyone this evening that's listening to open a business, to find a Black business, to look for a Black business, to support a Black business, but more importantly, support our youth. Because it's easy to talk about it. I had one person to say to me during this week, you know, I spoke on this platform and I didn't even think about donating to the kids. And I said to them on the phone, that is amazing. That is, in my tone, as my team will tell you, my favorite word, unbelievable. Because if we are business owners and we can get on a platform and it don't cost us anything to speak our voice to the globe, then we should be prepared to give our kids something to show our appreciation for the shoulders that we've been standing on. And I say it all the time that I'm standing on the shoulders of Henry Stansel. I'm standing on the shoulder of Esther Bostic. I'm standing on the shoulders of Lovella Stansel Kelly. I'm standing on the shoulders of Willie Francis Williams. They're my people. Who are you standing on the shoulders of? Now, before I get out of here, I'd like to make a quick announcement. I told people that I was going to make a big announcement on Sunday. I wanted everybody to tune in because I was going to make a big announcement. And that big announcement is that we at the Black Business Network are going to be giving 12-month TV shows to speakers. We're going to be giving shows to speakers all over the world, all over the globe. And of course, when we start talking about giving shows to speakers, we also want you to take the time out to go to blackbusinessolympic.com/shops. Do it again, blackbusinessolympics.com/shops, where you can get hoodies, t-shirts, cups, tote bags from Max Distro in support. Max Distro, a new company. This is what happens at the Black Business Expo. You get new companies who call on us and say, hey, Dr. Kelly, we like to do something, and how much money do you want out of it? And I say to them, I don't want a dime. And then they look at me and they say, what do you mean you don't want a dime? I say, I don't want a dime because every penny I want to go to my kids. And so Max Distro decided to do hats, caps, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies for the kids, where all proceeds go to the kids. All proceeds go to the kids. This event, this week, the live event, everything that you donate go to the kids. Why is it so hard for us to understand that our kids are asking the question, where are we? Where are we today? And with that being said, I'd like to say to all of the people who have been behind the scenes, all of the amazing folk who have done what they've done for us, all of the people who have said and went with us through this first journey, this first leg, or should I say this second leg, because we are anticipating 3 years from now to be at our goal of 365 people live. Again, I want to thank the Metaverse Goddess. I want to thank Lee Entertainment, Bark Lee. I want to thank my mama. Man, I could go on and on and on and on. But the one person I have not thanked is you, the audience. Thank you for taking out the time and going over these 7 days and looking at what we wanted to put on the table for you. Because what we put on the table for you was our heart, our business, our entrepreneurship, our sales, our mastery, our all in all. So as we close, I want everybody to think about this. As a friend of mine used to say, by the name of Bill Cherry, he would say to me, who you give your money to is who you give your power to. Your power lies in your people ties. My great-grandfather, Henry Stansel would say, he would say, if you don't value your value, then your value would not be valuable. That's what Henry Stansel would say. And then, of course, my mama would say, genius is all around us. Step up and share your genius. And then, of course, a guy by the name of Bruce George would say, genius is common. Want to thank Bruce George for the Genius is Common movement that has been a stalwart with us for all of these years. Want to thank Bruce George and all of the Genius Common participants. And then, of course, before I get out of here, I got to say this one thing. I want to thank a very special person, somebody who's been talking to me and giving me the energy to make it happen, who's been working with me behind the scenes when nobody else is working with me behind the scenes. And that's my best friend, Gerald Stone. And Gerald has not only been somebody that's working with me behind the scenes, he's someone who's been financing many of the things that we've been doing. Want to thank Gerald Stone for everything he does for not only me, but for this movement. And as we get ready to get out of here, want to thank Hillary. Thank you, Hillary, for coming up on the screen. Want to thank you, Hillary Gooden, for coming in and really calling people and making sure that people knew who they were and where they was going to be. And yes, somebody would say, well, Dr. Kelly, you were saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, when you're a servant leader and you're serving the world, there's one thing you better not forget, and that's to thank the people who make you the person that you are. You want to thank the people who are behind the scenes, who really are in front of the scenes. And for those of you out there, the audience, I will again want to thank you. And of course, you can go to our Cash App, and that's dollar bill BBX USA, and donate to these kids, because we plan on giving up to $5,000 in laptop and computers. Join in with us as we do that. And as I would always say, what you're looking for is looking for you. You know, many people will not say that new quote that I just started: teamwork makes the achievement work. Say that one more time. Teamwork makes the achievement work. And with that being said, I want to thank each and everyone for taking out the time to sit back and listen to a old man say to the world, thank you for your time. Thank you for your talent. Thank you for your business. Thank you for your wisdom. But more importantly, thank you for your existence. And with that being said, you know what I'm going to give you? Genius. 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 Let's say it again. Genius is common. You know, I hate to go. I really hate to go. But genius is common. And I'll see you on the other side.